Welcome back, episode number 32, GhettoRig podcast, guys. Hey, guys, thanks for being here as usual. We got some people online, some people still watching, we're monitoring the chat.
Make sure to
Name
pull it
is
up.
Jay, that's my co host Eddie. We got Miggy on a computer trying to do Miggy things. Sometimes it's a
And we
W.
got Alex too. You forgot about Alex.
I'm getting there, God.
Oh my
Stop, bro. I'm
goodness.
getting there.
The best for last.
Sometimes it's a W, sometimes it's an L with Miggy. We don't know what's gonna happen, so keep you guessing, guys, on your toes. And we brought back Alex. I think we had a pretty cool conversation last Tuesday, and I think like the time was too short. Really, we just needed more, stuff. And
It felt like 2 minutes instead of 2 hours. I know.
Yeah.
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 And we dragged it on I think 15, 20 minutes extra past the 2 hour mark even then. And it was still like we needed more time.
More time for sure. And today we actually switched to Skype. We're running everything off the Discord. Hopefully the volume, guys, like if you're in a chat and you're listening to the stream, give us a thumbs
let us
up
know.
or thumbs down. Let us know what's
We,
going on.
Which I attempted to put the microphone settings kind of back to how we had them before. So the OBS, which is like the stream software for YouTube and stuff, should be picking up all the volumes exactly how it did prior to Tuesday. Because we had some problems with Alex not being able to hear us and stuff, so we were trying to fix that. And switching to Skype seemed to have helped a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So and he can hear us and he can see us, which
Wait,
we
that's
didn't know
nice
that
now. He can
couldn't
see us. Yeah.
So,
Before he had to basically just listen, and he had to stream up separately, but he wasn't able to actually like watch us.
Disclaimer:
live.
Skype is not paying us.
yeah, Skype is not paying us, and neither we're paying him. So Skype is not any of this stuff. They're getting clout just off of clout.
You into jiu-jitsu today?
Yeah, I did go to
How
jiu-jitsu.
was rolling?
Well, I didn't roll because the classes here are a little more structured. So you like actually have, like if it's like today there was the kids class, and then right after the kids class it was intermediate and advanced class. So it was more of like actual class,
You just drill a bunch of drilling.
and then after the class it was like time to roll. But that was already 8:20 when we finished, and I was
Yeah.
like, bro, 8:20, I gotta run.
Yeah.
Ozzy gave me shit for it. He's like, oh, you're not gonna stay once I show up, and you got a podcast, don't you own the podcast? You can fucking delay it. I was like, nah, bro, we got people waiting on us. We got people waiting on us. We can't be doing that shit.
And he showed up at the end just to roll, huh?
No, he showed up. He showed up on time, and he was there for the warm ups and everything. So, Alex in the chat, Art's in the chat. What's up, gentlemen? Hey,
How you guys
Alex,
doing?
I got a question for you, Alex. That's on a video. So you've had short hair before, and now you have long hair. Did you like had to get that approved with your wife, or like did you like fuck it? I'm just doing this, and I don't care what people think.
Oh, I definitely didn't have to get it approved by my wife. She didn't give a fuck what I do or what I wear. But it was kind of just like COVID hit. I wasn't going to the barber, so I just said fuck it, and that was an expense I took out of my life.
So someone that is hair challenged, at least to say, like when I use, like I still use shampoo. I have shampoo, but it's a shampoo and conditioner, that I use.
Head and shoulders, men.
It's all in one. If I had a 12 in one or 31 in one, I'd still use that.
If men could put the same shit that they put in their car and use it for toothpaste, they probably would.
Yes, but do you use separately shampoo and then separately other stuff, or not? Just like you do like all.
So we're
every
gonna get
other
into
guy?
the four men's hair treatment here. Is what we're gonna do.
I mean, so you're right. Men's products are basically just like chemicals, and they're like we say it does all this.
Detergents
So
is what they are.
yeah, for my hair, like I actually get like the Pantene or whatever, like shampoo, conditioner. I also have like a biotin shampoo to like help with follicle growth and shit like
Look at the
that.
green one, Jay.
But yeah, for my body, fuck it, Old Spice. I don't give a shit. Like yeah, whatever cleans.
And Ozzy in the chat, he goes, "Hell yeah, I got the hookup on the wigs. Thanks, Ozzy. I knew you'd come through." But yeah, so okay. So long behold, I was just talking to Eddie earlier today. I saw on Facebook for October, I think 12th or something like that. It's in October. They have Chimaev scheduled with Costa.
Oh yeah, that sounds
Chimaev and
interesting.
Costa.
I don't know what's gonna happen there because we saw Chimaev fight at 185, 180. Was it that they did that like bout that was last second with Holland, right? And he just ran through Kevin Holland, and so I can't really say we've seen him at 185.
So apparently, I heard this
because Kevin doesn't really fight 185 either.
apparently the talk around the town is that he the reason like he didn't fight, you know, that fight that he didn't make weight.
Yeah.
The reason it's like that because he wasn't really following his dietitian, like he was doing salt and like burgers and stuff, like he wasn't following a diet. So to me, like he does have that issue of cutting weight.
There was memes of him like eating out with Darren Till. Darren Till's one of his training partners.
Yeah.
Yeah, saying like they didn't give a fuck, they this and that.
I think that's his weight. Like this probably where he feels comfortable
He's
with.
too big for 170, I think.
Yeah, he's too big. He's too tall. Number one. What
Yeah.
is it? 6 foot, right? Plus
Probably
6
Let's
plus
look it up.
probably. So what do you guys think about that?
Alex is a big UFC guy, so I think he's definitely got something to say.
I mean, for one, with all the weight like misses and things this year, like I feel like they should crack down on that. But I also feel like for the fight specifically, like when you're
6'2".
fighting outside of your
He's big.
weight range, you're
He's
in a
scrawny.
you're in a new world, you know, like you're basically in a new body, you know.
Yeah. And another question is Darren Till good enough sparring partner to prepare him for Costa? Because like they usually pick guys that fight in a similar fashion
I
to
do-
prepare.
I mean, it's not like he's his only sparring partner. And when it comes to these high level guys, like they will try and get guys to spar with these fighters specifically that are like lined up with the style matching of the guy they're trying to come up and fight. Some guys will do that. I've heard of other dudes are more of like, I just want to focus on me, being sure like I have all my skills honed in and believing in what I can do and just, you know, kind of not winging it, you know, but they're not necessarily like planning for the fighter. Other fighters are like John Jones that are freaking sorry, that are always
Well, he's
watching.
a prodigy. Yeah.
But John Jones is one of the biggest game plan people. Like he's always watching videos of his opponents before fights. Cejudo, one of the biggest game plan fighters there is. Like there's guys like that, and then there's the other guys that, like I was saying, like they just focus on their skills and honing in. It's weird though. Like going back to the weight thing, I 100% agree with Alex. Like I was saying, like he's going to 185. He's only fought Kevin Holland at 185. That's what we've seen so far, and that was a 40 second fight that he just went through that guy that they were not even supposed to fight.
Yeah.
So who knows what's gonna happen? Costa's a freaking monster.
Costa is a monster.
He belongs at light heavyweight. It's like
Yes, he does lose a lot of weight too. Costa loses a lot of weight
He's
because he's
huge.
usually dry as shit, and he is big. I mean, he's big. He's muscular.
What's that juice he walks around with? It's like secret juice, right? It's what he has. It's like he always walks around with like this jug.
Slurp juice.
He puts secret. He puts he'll literally tape a piece of paper to it that says secret juice, and it's like this brown fucking yellow shit. It looks disgusting.
Come
but
to
it's,
find out, it's Arizona iced tea. He just fucking
Yeah, he just
he's just trolling.
It's
people.
probably a Space Jam play, you know.
Yeah.
he's so he likes to troll USADA, and because like he
They fucking put him on a test twice, bro.
yeah
made him
they
test
will
twice.
like wake him up. They said that they will like wake him up at stupid hours and they'll fuck with him when he's weight cutting. Because like if they come to you and like, yeah, we need you to pee, but you're like drained, what do they force you to do? Drink water. Because like we need that test. We don't care what's going down. We need that test. Like that's how it is. And yeah, that sets you back.
You piss in dust, you know. but yeah. So but how would they cut? Like how would they crack down on it? Like that's my question. How would they
Okay.
possibly crack down on cutting weight?
So, one thing is more weight divisions, right? We need something between 155 and 170. There should be a 165. There should be a 175, 185 like we have, and 195, 205. There should be those divisions there because you have guys that are maybe like Costa, That might not be. He should be 205 is what we're saying, but maybe not necessarily. He'd probably do a lot better in a class that's 195 versus going against 205, like guys against like Yuri and Jan Blachowicz and these guys. So
Yeah, Ozzy got a point. Costa would have a lot of power advantage over Chimaev, but Chimaev is probably going to be lighter on his feet. So
I don't know, man. That guy Chimaev is strong. Like, of course, like we see Costa as like a fucking specimen.
Yeah.
But like, you saw the freaking squeeze he put on Kevin. Like, he
Yeah.
didn't even get all the way
Yeah.
in for that choke, and then Kevin was next day red eyes. Like
Yeah.
his eyes were fucking red from
Bloodshot.
all the capillaries being blown in his
Well,
face.
Now going back to that weight, let's say they put more weight categories. Okay, fine, they did it. Now I don't want to say it's gonna water down UFC.
That's not the only thing they have to do. That's something that will be one step towards helping the whole weight thing. There's a lot of other things they have to do. Versus, like, for example, just cracking down on making sure these guys aren't going too out of their hydration state, like giving them like a threshold. That involves a lot of like monitoring though, so it's hard. It's a
But-
lot of things you have to
As
do.
I said, I don't want to say it would water down the UFC weight categories
No,
because
it wouldn't.
it kind of would, because that would have
No,
to introduce
it-
other guys into that weight category.
It doesn't matter though, because guess what? Now you have more champions, and now you have more champ fights. It wouldn't. It maybe would. For example, they would have to introduce more fighters because they have more weight classes.
That's what I'm saying.
But
They would introduce more
They
fighters.
would have to introduce more fighters, but at the same time, you have more champions. You have more, you have more chances for these big events and all these rivalries and all these things. It just opens more doors. And there's just a lot of the fighters that did fight in the UFC, but are always in that middle ground, like I was talking about, especially the 155 to 170.
And for like health wise, you know, for the fighters themselves, like these in between weights are like, because you know, genetically your body's supposed to be a certain way, and then we mold it through what we do, pushing those chemicals through. So like making that step to either the next weight or a weight down just a little less of a big step is, you know, still better for the body than you drastically changing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, for sure, because you can see that in a very lightweight, right? Like what's his name when they're fighting
And
the,
then there needs to be one between. What were you saying?
well, the fight that we had. There was a trilogy with the Mexican kid and
So they actually went to 4 fights. You're talking about Figueiredo and Moreno.
Moreno, yeah.
So Moreno's actually scheduled for a fight against Pantoja.
Well, what I was gonna say, Figueroa cuts 18% of his body weight.
He said he's going to 135.
Well, he's gonna have to. He can't handle cutting 18%.
My question
of his,
is he's friends with Cejudo. Going to 135 is threatening that, and Cejudo's coming back. I thought.
Do you think Cejudo has what it takes, man?
I do. What do you mean?
Listen, hear me out.
Champ.
Hear me out. Cejudo
Olympic gold medalist.
was a great fighter. Olympic gold medalist, great, amazing
One of the goats.
fighter.
I mean, you have to put him up there.
But
Champ.
he hasn't been in a ring.
Triple
he hasn't
C,
been,
bro.
Yeah, but he hasn't been in a ring. He hasn't been under that kind of pressure of preparation. He hasn't been doing that.
He beat Mighty Mouse.
He did, but how long ago was that?
It's not that long ago. I'll look it up.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, Cejudo is good. I'm not taking it away from Cejudo. He's amazing. But, I want to say he was amazing. Now, I don't know if he's got what it takes. I know you love Cejudo.
I feel that because fighters are just like, if you're not there, if you're not in the ring actively fighting, you know, anything can go on just mentally.
Yes.
That throws off your game.
Yes. Like, all Cejudo is one bad night's sleep away from fucking losing the fight. You know what I mean? And,
Right.
like, nerves can get to you, and he hasn't had a high-pressure fight in a while. So,
Not
Yeah,
everyone's
well-
like Mike Tyson, who literally has a switch that he can flip on and off to be in kill mode.
yeah. Mike Tyson also is a fucking
So-
beast, so...
I this is where I was like, when you said I don't know if Cejudo's fought the guys. I believe he has because Demetrius Johnson.
No, I'm not talking about if he's not fought the guys. He has, but how long ago was it?
2019, 2020, beating Dominic Cruz, Marlon Moraes, TJ Dillashaw, and Demetrius Johnson. So Demetrius Johnson was in 2018. He beat Dillashaw in 2019. He beat Marlon Moraes in 2019.
So let's
And he
be
beat
honest. Like,
Dominic Cruz in 2020.
Mighty Mouse was like the only fight that he had like that. That
What?
was
Do you not recognize these names? T.J. Dillashaw, former champion. Marlon Moraes, Dominic Cruz, former champion. I don't understand what you're saying. I really don't.
I don't know, man. I just don't think he's got. Like, I want him to win.
I think
I want him to win,
I
but
think you're. I mean, I'm going for Cejudo, but as well. But I think you're doubting my boy.
I am doubting. I am doubting 100%. I don't know, man. I just don't think he's been active enough in training enough. I mean, I shouldn't say training.
You can't
enough
say that because it's what?
Yeah.
You're gonna say the
can't
same
say
thing
that,
about John Jones. It's been 3 years since John Jones fought. He fought now. Same thing with Cejudo. Now it's gonna be 3 years. Last fight was 2020.
Yeah, but John Jones is a fucking. He's a prodigy. Like whether you want it or not, John
What do
Jones
you
is
want
a
to
prodigy.
say? You have to say the same shit about Cejudo. I understand if you want to put John Jones over Henry Cejudo. I get that argument, but to say they're not like up there, like
I don't know. So Khabib came out. He did mention Cejudo as one of the top 15.
there's
but
there's a video of them like having a conversation where Cejudo's like, brother, tell me right now, honest opinion, who is number one combat athlete of all time right now? And he goes, you, brother, after he won the double champ status. And he's like, you, like, there's
well,
Olympic gold medalist in freestyle wrestling, which Khabib, for him, is considered probably one of the like top things to like accomplish.
And then he proceeded to say that it's just wrestling and it's not judo, because he said judo is class.
Oh
Wrestling
yeah, they
is-
had that argument
Yeah.
afterwards about
Yeah.
because his dad is really into judo.
Yeah.
His dad was really into judo. So
But what I'm trying to say, he put his list out, and the number one was Fedor Emelianenko with John Jones. He put them at the same number one. He said Emelianenko, John Jones as number one.
Fedor.
Yeah, Fedor. And then he had a bunch of people. Cejudo was, I think, like down the list, like down in the middle of the list. Cormier was above Cejudo. You know what I mean? And Cormier was like number 5 or 6
Yeah.
or something like Mighty
Which is-
Mouse. I think he
which
had
is
Mighty Mouse there on top 5.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, I can't disagree with those things. I mean, so, like when you watch, like, for example, like a lot of people talk about, especially like Joe Rogan, which I mean, very credible source on fighting, right? Like you can all agree with that. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. Yeah. Like he just talks about like I haven't watched a lot of Demetrius Johnson's fights, but he says it's one of the most technical fighters like he's ever seen. Like
Yeah.
just like his technical ability is just top notch.
Yeah, BJ Penn was on that list.
Yeah.
GSP was number 2. GSP was number 2.
I saw BJ Penn was one of those prodigy guys that got his black belt in like 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
So
nasty.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen with that Cejudo fight. I'm curious. I'm curious. Like, you know, I like to be proven wrong. Like,
Yeah.
you know, because for old men like me, there's still a hope. If you train enough, you can do it. You know? But
What do
I just
you
don't- I
think,
just
Alex?
doubt it.
Aljamain versus Cejudo. That's already a fight scheduled for May. It looked like.
I was looking up Demetrius Johnson's age while we were talking about him. He's
still
36, right?
Yeah.
Man is a very technical fighter. But back to that, I'm with you, Cejudo. Like, I want to see him win.
Yeah, I would want to see him win, but I just don't know if it's feasible.
Like, I can see
It'll
where
be-
the doubt comes from. But man has put some bodies under him that were like former champs and like, you know,
Yeah,
top
for
of
sure.
their class at the time.
For sure. No, I agree.
It'll be exactly 3 years after his last fight with Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
Which, how did he win? TKO against Dominic Cruz. His last 3 fights were won by TKO.
Oh, what do you guys think? I just saw. What do you guys think about these Pentagon documents, like CIA Pentagon documents that got leaked about Ukraine in
No idea. What are you
Discord?
talking about?
What was it regarding about?
So it was just about Ukraine and basically the locations where their soldiers are, and like strategic locations and plans of Ukraine. Basically, got leaked in this Discord group that was leaked by a guy. The whole thing pretty much started by the guy saying, well, that's not it, and then the people kept pushing. It's like, all right, motherfuckers, here are the documents. And he put like Pentagon documents on there, and then apparently he got it from another Discord group, and it was all Discord group of basically gamers that had access to this. So
It's almost like
apparently-
it's almost like trying to get leaked nudes. Like you get them from a Discord that they got from another Discord that they got from Reddit.
yeah.
I've heard about that.
So
I've
my
heard
thing,
about that shit.
my thing with that is, I don't know if these documents are true. And hear me out on this.
See, your brother's saying that they arrested the guy that leaked the info.
Okay, well there you go. But to me, I don't think this is true, because if it truly leaked, they had to get somebody arrested, right? Even if it was, even if these documents are not true, somebody had to get arrested so that doesn't happen. Do you honestly think CIA and Pentagon, with as much security as they have, they're gonna let some documents leak? Do you think it's more of like how many layers he had to go through for the?
See,
I think it was just a more of a
I just-
fabricated thing and released.
See,
thing.
I don't necessarily think it was fabricated, but it wasn't just as simple as like they got into their files and it was like they leaked the shit. No, like this was probably crossing some kind of communication. It was going somewhere and got corrupted and whatever. That's my that would be one of my assumptions on how it could have happened. Also, I agree with that. Probably could have happened the same way you're saying. Like either way, I don't know.
I mean, that or like, you think a lot of people, especially these days, think things are secure, and even the government themselves still gets those phishing emails and stuff like that that can just take files without their knowledge. And like a lot of the government programs run on like Windows Vista and stuff like that. So, you know,
Dude, it's crazy. You got like 80-year-old boomers using the internet. They're gonna be careless. It's gonna happen.
but this doesn't really help our situation, like our the viewpoint from Ukraine. So I doubt that it would be like a fake thing put out. You
So
know,
that was the thing. The main thing was like, now they're gonna lose trust in allies because we're leaking this information. Let's say it's true, because it had like literally like where the majority of the troops are located, what weapons are working, what not working, what communications things are working.
That's
Like
exactly what I was
literally
gonna ask. What does it
plans,
have? Okay.
literally plans of like what's going on currently in Ukraine
Yeah,
on the
that's pretty
side of
fucking
Ukraine.
dangerous. I'd say.
You know what I mean? The whole idea of that is obviously like, you know, they don't care if United States, like you and I read it, but what they do care about if you and I or someone else picks that up and then passes it over to the Russian side and then makes it to the Russian side, right? Because let's just be honest, this is a proxy war between United States and Russia, right? And this has been ongoing since 2014 with Crimea, right? Which were basically under the pointing of a gun was signed off to Russia. Right, we've been in this proxy war, and this war is going to continue because it's a war against Russia, United States, and Russia. It has nothing to do with Ukraine. Ukraine is just the fucking middlemen that got their fingers chopped off, pretty much.
I mean, they are getting invaded, so like it is their homeland that they're protecting. But yes, I do agree. This does have a lot bigger, inclinations there. It is just Cold War 2.0.
Yo, in the realm of possibility, and this is a conspiracy theory, all that shit that happened with Donald Trump, initially with Russia inflating the votes, getting him the votes. What if he's pulling a Hitler 2.0? He's been planning this for like 8 years. He wants to get back in office.
Nah, bro, no.
The world is going to shit. Russia's already in Ukraine.
So
There's China that's going to support Russia. Next World War? Question mark?
So I think Alex mentioned this before we got on a stream. There's just so much shit going on both sides. They're so radicalized each other that they're literally pulling like they're not putting stop to anything. They just fucking revealing everything about each other. Now, did Russia meddle in the elections? Most likely. Were there some votes that were lost for Trump? Most likely. Like all these things I think are true, and they're just given these tidbits of information like about the way actually these votings are working and how they're influencing things, and slowly shit's coming up to the surface of the water. Do we know the exact full story, what and how? No. But do you honestly think that Trump, the way his character is, as uniquely narcissistic he is, do you think he's gonna allow Putin control him as a marionette? No. I think
I mean,
he's
I
dealing
think
with
he lets a
them.
lot of people control him, but you know, when he gets mad, he turns and then be like,
Yeah,
he
but
throws
that's
him under the bus.
yeah, but that's just like being emotional, right? But like, do you think he's gonna let like he's a marionette of Putin and like Putin is putting his agents into United States and
So you're
formula
saying
Trump to
so
Marionette,
you're saying
no,
Donald Trump
but
is beta because he
someone
doesn't.
that gets money for it. I mean, if you read the Mueller report, there's literally conclusive evidence that they did interfere and Trump and his allies helped. Bill Barr turned that around, summarized it, and gave it out to the public, saying that no, there was no collusion. Like that, just because there wasn't charges or things like that, just doesn't mean it didn't happen.
well, that's what I'm saying.
But if we had more people like the Mueller investigation and stuff, keeping our government officials accountable, then maybe less shit like this would happen.
But see, the thing is with that, in my opinion, the thing with that is if they would have said that this is like, why did they summarize this and gave something else? You know what I mean? Because they were
Because Bill Barr was the head of the DOJ, which would have been the one that would have had to convict Trump, but he was also helping him overthrow the election. So,
that's what I'm saying. So if he would have not done it, maybe the other information from other side would have leaked, and that could have possibly caused a fucking uproar in a society. Now you have a fucking civil war. You know what I mean? Over the shit that they've been doing since day one.
So why is France? Isn't
Macron?
France an ally to us? Why is he kind of leaning towards, the West
Oh, Macron?
or the East? Sorry. Yeah.
France?
Yeah.
French are very interesting. So since day one in history, French have always been in cahoots with England. It was like always a love-hate relationship with France. And then when England wasn't as powerful anymore, then we had this love-hate relationship with the United States, right? Because if you look at French, in reality, like majority, I hate to say it this way, but majority of their economy is fucking makeup industry, right? Like they don't really necessarily have much that they're
I mean, they literally
exporting.
have a ban on filters.
I mean, they're the fashion capital of the world.
Yes.
They also have very big vineyards and stuff. They have a massive economy and they have a very good workers union.
They do. So if not Germany and France, current European Union would not exist because they're pretty much funding everyone, right? But in a retrospect, France was never really, after Napoleon, France was never really like a fucking superpower, right? So I think French are taking their bet.
We heard that whole hit.
Yeah. So French, I think, are taking a side and they're betting, or they're trying, or they're tiptoeing, trying to bet on what side it's gonna go to. And I think with the BRICS coming into fruition a little more, where Saudi Arabia, China, they decided to trade with yuan. Bunch of countries going that way. Bunch of Africa going that way towards the BRICS. Because you kind of have to understand the way World Bank works, right? Like World Bank is a great organization. Well, from outside, that's how it seems. But then what happens is World Bank will come in, and if the country is in distress, they'll lend them a bunch of money to rebuild or pull them out of the economic strife. But with that comes in the backdoor deals where it's like, okay, we're gonna give you this money, but XYZ person is gonna come in and own this part of your economy, and then you bring bunch of rich companies or people from United States. They end up buying up the fucking half of the country, right? It happened with Greece. It happened with Spain. Like this is what's happening with the World Bank, right? So people are thinking if they jump ship to BRICS, is gonna be any different? The fuck do you think it's not gonna be different? BRICS is they're built on our example. They're built on the World Bank's example. Like it's not gonna be any different. So I guess they're trying to tiptoe to see which is the worst evil to deal with. And I think this is what's going on right now in the world. But
Actually, France they had when Trump got elected, the whole world kind of came around to some nationalist leaning leaders. They currently have one. They just raised the age of retirement in France, and people are literally burning shit in the streets because of it.
And that was
But
Macron, right?
unlike here, they have strong unions to where even the firefighters are helping people burn shit in the streets because they know they won't get fired for protesting on something that they don't like.
Exactly. And
But that's why they don't want to be they are our ally, but they don't want to commit because one, they don't put that much into military like we do, and two, they have a very nationalist side in power right now.
Do you guys know how
But-
all great empires have fallen? Rome, Greece, France.
Theocracy.
Yeah. Do you
Well,
think
that and-
America's gonna be the next empire that falls?
well, that
And what
and-
is
and
it that
lack of
what is it that
communication.
makes it that could make America collapse?
Well, that and lack of communication. For example, like Lithuania in 1700s was one of the largest countries in the world, but they couldn't fight on both ends. By the time news would come that there's a fighting on the other end, like they didn't have enough, like they couldn't shift the forces, right? So, but I think the communication issue is kind of solved now. You know what I mean?
Do you think what do you think is gonna come first? The end of the world or the fall of the United States?
I think we're smart enough not to fucking launch nukes at each other. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like we
Putin's a little ill in the head.
well, Putin is ill in the head, but yet he's still not gonna do it unless
I
he's
saw
like,
North Korea
I
just
saw-
fired a ballistic
I-
missile
I-
right next to Japan.
I saw that, and they were telling Japanese citizens to, like, fucking
Evacuate
duck and cover.
temporarily.
yeah.
Dude, do you imagine the PTSD that they must have? Look at this guy.
Well, but then also, like, you know, with Japanese people, there was this guy, I forget his name, he's like 96 or 93 years old. This motherfucker got hit where he was working with a nuclear bomb,
Warhead?
dragged himself out of the rubble, and then made it to work to Nagasaki the next day, because he had to be at work in the morning. He made it to work the next day, and then Nagasaki got hit the second time with a fucking nuclear bomb. So Japanese are a little bit different, but what bothers me even
Did he
more-
survive both?
Yes, both.
Holy crap!
still alive
Did
to
he
this
play the
day.
lottery?
they
I
must
don't
call
fucking know.
they must call him the cockroach.
He
Yeah.
must have been right outside of that nuclear radiation zone.
I don't know, but what's bothering me even more is that China just completed fucking aquatic warfare training next to Taiwan, and pretty much
Yeah.
said we're ready to fight.
Yeah.
Because
I heard about
Taiwan
that
is
too.
pretty much under our jurisdiction.
Under
although
our hands,
Chinese,
under our hold.
yeah, although Chinese have always said that Taiwan is ours.
And turn their backs on anyone who says that Taiwan is independent.
Yes.
Oh, I
Yes.
could see it. I mean, they've threatened that they've tried the peaceful way. Now other methods need to happen. But back to the whole end of America, I could see two avenues right now. Theocracy or the Chinese actually do what they want and overthrow the USD, and we just crash too hard to where we can't recover.
Yeah.
What's
And if that
what's
happens,
theocracy? I'm not familiar with that term.
It's when most of our politicians and leaders are religious based and only make laws via their religion or the dominant religion, because obviously only one can survive in a theocracy.
Word.
Well, no, that's yeah, but I don't.
I mean,
they
you
are
got
religious,
China
but I
trying
think it's
to
more for politics.
Kill
more
the
for
what's
winning,
it? The Uyghurs.
winning
Uyghurs.
votes. The only religion they have is money. You know, this is how I like to think. I could be wrong, but that's just
I
my
mean,
opinion.
yeah, but
I-
theocracy itself is when they're literally politically religious.
I heard this thing the other day. They said, they asked the guy, what's the difference between a religion and a cult? And he goes, well, the cult and a cult, there's a guy and he makes up this idea that he knows is bullshit, and he gets everybody else to believe it, right? And he leads these people and convinces them to do shit based on these false ideas that he knows is bullshit, but everybody else believes it. In the religion, that guy's dead. I was like, that's a pretty good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good way
Yeah.
to fucking put it.
So Art just put a fucking tidbit of information. Apparently, the way they caught the guy who leaked the information is that he took a picture of the files on a granite countertop. So they found the granite countertop place where he bought the granite from,
Oh
and that's
my
how
God.
they got him.
I mean, you're fucking with the CIA and FBI there. They got everything.
A-
NSA.
AI running that shit. Where's it get this? Where's it get that? Who bought it?
Can
Who
you
sold
imagine
it?
like What does this granite look like? Let's get some granite people in here. Okay, so this from this quarry. Where did they ship from this quarry? Oh Jesus, man, that's fucking
Shit.
smart.
I
That's
mean,
smart.
if you can figure out, especially it may be some kind of exotic shit, but like for example, a piece of granite. Okay, it's that stone, right? All right, let's look at every fucking place that sells that stone, and then they also cross-reference it with the tile that probably broke it down even more, and then just fucking lot of fucking work.
I mean, the picture's probably geolocated unless they had some way to hack around that. So, like, they had an area to look in.
Yeah. No, they have another pic of him in the kitchen, and they saw the same speck in the countertop. Oh, it was a
okay.
speck in the fucking countertop. Jesus
Damn.
Christ.
So they cross-reference a picture of this guy. With
This
his
sounds like
countertop.
bullshit.
That does sound like
That
bullshit,
sounds like
bro.
bullshit.
I'm sorry.
Because the pattern of the oh my god.
All right, everybody, clean your house.
I would hope it's actually granite. I mean, even if it is granite, theoretically, if it's cut from the same block, it could have very similar looking veins and
Yeah.
all the like structure of where the color shifts and all that stuff. Or it could be, if it wasn't granite, if it was something like quartz, that's like man-made, they could have like it been exactly the same shit because someone fucking made it.
So the question is, how the fuck this guy got hold of these documents? That's what I want to know. How in the hell some guy with a speck on his granite got a hold of fucking CIA documents? You know what I mean?
don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, so like, you know, going back to United States, I don't think United States were like, so the only problem that because right now our exports are larger than our imports, right? But the only thing that's keeping us in balance is our financial markets. If our financial markets crash, our expenditure is way more than what we import more than we export, right? So it's gonna be fucking tough time. I mean, but then look at Canada. I mean, Canada don't do shit, but Canada is doing pretty fine. I mean, again, Germany doesn't rule the world, but they're doing fine. You know what I mean? So
Best
we're
audio
just
in
not
the
gonna
world.
be. We're not gonna be the police of the world. Basically, China will become the police of the world, and it's all gonna be, well, unless you do this for us, you're not gonna get this. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be interesting.
So
Jay, I got a joke for you today.
What is it?
Why did the blind man fall in the well?
I have no idea.
Because he couldn't see well.
you know it's funny, Alex? He comes every podcast we've had, like I could say at least like 10 to 15 out of the 30. After the camera comes off and we start picking shit up, he starts coming out with these crazy dad jokes and shit. It's every time. He has like a million up his sleeve. He never wants to tell him. It's the first time he finally says one. Goddamn.
Miguel, you got child support coming? Because that was you had to have children for that one.
Yeah.
No, they're on the way.
You know what Pink Panther doesn't like ants?
Who?
Pink Panther.
Pig Panther.
The Pink
Oh,
Panther.
Pink Panther. Okay, why?
Because he always sings that song. Didn't.
Nice. Sounds
You
corny.
guys are so bad. You guys are so fucking
They're
stupid.
so bad that they're funny. But I don't know, man. I don't know. We're gonna have to watch and see, because China's got its own issues with their ghost cities and their economy not doing well.
So
You know-
we were talking about this before the podcast started, The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And I figured out, I was telling Alex this, I think today or yesterday, I figured out, so the guy that created The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau, and was two guys that like co-created it, Filoni, I think it's Sam Filoni, right? And I remember last time we had Ozzy on here.
Wait. What do you call an Indian dating site? I don't know, Arthur. Give us the thing. What do you call it?
Anyways, Ozzy, last time he was here, he told me, oh yeah, you know the guy that plays that dude. And I figured out John actually doesn't play him. He voiced him in in the episodes before. Like for example, like when he challenged Jin for the Darksaber. But then it was always a different guy playing like in the suit. And then even now in this season, it's been the guy that the actor that actually is in the suit has been doing his voice this whole time. So Ozzy was strong.
Okay. But
And,
Oh, but I mean, not to spoil for people in the chat, but like I knew he was gonna be the one that perished at the end.
really? Why?
Yeah, I
Why?
felt it hard since the beginning of the episode.
Damn, I have to say I didn't see that coming at all. In the sense that when I saw that scene, I saw that the Mando told Grogu with IG-12, he's like, make sure you keep up because they started running through. And right when he said that, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna get left behind, and Moff's gonna fucking
Get
grab
Grogu?
Grogu again. Yeah, that was my initial thought. I even told it to Emily, and then when they got him, I was like, okay, that's a little bit better of a twist because they're not gonna kill Mando.
so another question: those guys in red at the end that fucked him up,
Yeah.
were they Jedi or they were just?
They're the
clones?
new version of the Dark Troopers. So remember the troopers that he had that were the Dark Troopers that were like the droids in the ship when they went in, right? And that Luke killed them all, right? Those were droids that were just fucking juiced out droids, right? Basically, now he's basically created Storm clone troopers, but with Beskar armor and basically Mandalorian technology with the jetpacks and shit, which is crazy because it was like, damn, they're fucked.
Well, the question is where the fuck?
So the red armored ones are Sith troopers, but
the
they
red
have
ones at the end?
the
Oh,
ones
yeah,
with the
yeah.
like sabers and stuff. They have a different name. They're like the Praetorial Guard or something like that.
Yeah, they do have a different name. If you're talking about the guys that killed
in
him,
red that killed
Yeah,
him.
that's-
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
So where you're asked is where they get all this Beskar. They're on Mandalore.
I know.
They've been mining that shit.
Yeah, that
I know they're on Mandalore. They've been mining. I know, but if that's the case, why do all these old Mandalorians have some raggedy ass?
because they didn't even know that was there.
That's drip.
They didn't even know that whole like imperial establishment that they have there, that building. They didn't even know that shit was there,
No,
which
no,
I find kind of crazy. But
I get that.
I mean,
but
it's a giant planet that has the lore of, it was bombed to the complete, like, irradiation to where you can't even sit on the surface. So I think the Empire tried to, like, spread that propaganda to keep this place secret because they have secret facilities all over the galaxy. Like Palpatine's cloning place. We saw it in Revenge of the Sith, or the third movie.
yeah,
And then, it finally comes back
no,
after years later.
I get that, but see, the thing is, these Mandalorians used to live on the planet, and they were good at getting Beskar out of the planet to build their fucking suits and shit, right? If that's the case, Beskar doesn't really go bad, right? Like, because you can't fuck up Beskar. Like, once it's shiny, it's shiny. Like, you can't do shit
not,
to it.
Not necessarily. Eventually, it does can receive damage. Like for example, if you saw the guys that were there that lived on the planet, remember?
Yeah.
The main dude, right? That was always talking and leading them, kind of. He had his mask had like 4 claw marks down it. Like Beskar can take damage. It's just one of the strongest alloys there is. I think it is the strongest alloy.
That's cool. So, like, he got the claw marks, right? It is what it is. So, obviously, he got the claw marks afterwards.
Remember Mando's panels on his thigh got changed early in season 1? Yeah, season 1.
Yeah,
Was it
when he got
Beskar?
all those
Yeah,
credits.
he had Beskar on. That's all Beskar. It gets beat. It's not invincible. It's,
Yeah. It's just, to me, like, the Beskar in this show is very, like...
Yeah, it's top notch. It's the best.
No,
right?
it's very scarce.
Yeah.
But yet they have so much that they can fucking build troopers and give each one of them shiny
because
armor.
they were there the whole time, they never left. Right? The Empire bombed that shit. Right? And I'm assuming from what it looks like, the moment they were done bombing, they established something in their old minds and continued to get Beskar for these troopers.
And another thing, that animal that came out, that's not the fucking beast, right? Like that.
No, that is not the
That's
Mythosaur.
not the
I don't
Mythosaur.
think so.
All right.
The Mythosaur
Yeah, no,
lives
that's not- that-
in the waters of the living waters of Mandalore, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I don't think that beast has a name. I think it was just plot point number 2,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, this is not the last episode. We still got 2 more to
One
go.
more.
One
One
more.
more,
So it's 8
yeah.
total.
Yeah, 8.
All right. So nothing's gonna get fucking done in this one episode. It's gonna be even bigger fucking cliffhanger than got in this last one. So
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm feeling that it's gonna be a 2-season story
I
too.
think so
Yeah,
too.
you think so?
Yeah, but back to the
Okay.
whole dude dying when he got uh the whole walking droid.
Yeah,
That's
IG-12.
yeah, when I was like, all right, so we're seeing Grogu's adolescence. Now someone's gonna have to die. A father figure is gonna have to die because
Okay, I see
in
where you put that.
the stories, your heroic story, there always has to be like once you go through adolescence, you got to see it. But they're not gonna kill Mando. Like
Yeah.
they're not gonna kill Mando. So I was like, we've already spent this time with this father, we saved his kid. He's gonna die. I don't know how, but he's gonna die.
You know, when Mando went ahead of the whole group and like got 4 of them all at once, that reminded me of the scene with the stormtroopers where they're like, "You're outnumbered 4-1." It's like, I like those odds because he's like, I don't need it. I don't need backup. Fuck you.
And
guys."
Motherfucker was going John Wick on these Beskar people.
Yeah.
Well, what the funny part was because they're all wearing Beskar, right? They're getting hit. Nothing happens to them, and they're just like jumping and doing little flips and just pew pew, and they're fucking just killing.
Well,
all
not
these
necessarily.
troopers.
Like you saw when they first got attacked in like the cave, or when they got pushed into the cave and then they came out from the top. Bo-Katan, if you see, she got hit a couple times and it knocks her back. Like it hurts all of them. And it wasn't until Paz Vizsla brought out his little minigun that he started fucking them up.
Dude, he fucked some people up. Though they were all flying in.
Yeah.
He's out there. Ta, 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 ta,
And I found so crazy that I told Emily, I was like, yeah, too many. When he closed the door and he's like, there's too many. I like, you guys can't get them all. And then he fucking kills them all. He killed all of them. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I think if they would have stayed, they would have got all 3 of those guards.
They
Like,
would've.
they would have. Like, it would have not been
Right.
1 versus 3 after he's already been fucked up.
Yeah, no, you got a point there. But you're right. Like every story has to have that like protagonist
I
dying
hate that it
and
was.
shit.
I hate
Well,
that
not
it
a
was him
protagonist, but
because
somebody.
of his backstory of being of House Vizsla and all that. That's the part.
I hate that
killed me.
was him because he carried the biggest fucking gun and it was just destroying people, bro. Like he was the heavy hitter. Right?
Oh,
You
and
know
that
what I
shit
mean?
was so cool. How when
He was the running back for the entire team. You know when he came in the clutch.
when they were fighting on the ship, the Children of the Watch versus like the
Yeah.
Paz Vizsla versus the guy that takes his mask off. I don't know what their clan is called. I don't know what clan he's in, but when Grogu like split him up. And he's like, no, like, stop. And then it was kind of cool because Bo-Katan said it, like, neither clan can step in. But he's not of either clan in a sense. Like, I guess you could say he's part of the Children of the Watch, but the Armorer said, you guys are your own clan now. Like, you guys are separate. Like, you're in a sense like your own thing. So that I saw that as like it clicked for me. Like, neither clan can interrupt.
What do you
Like,
guys
he's
think
not
of the new
neither clan.
Mario movie?
I heard who was it?
Jack Black?
Jack Black said that he wants, right? That's what you're talking about?
No, I don't know what you're saying here.
I think it was Jack Black or Chris Evans said he wants another Mario movie and he wants Wario to be part of it and he wants Pedro Pascal to play Wario.
And Andrew Schultz is gonna play Waluigi.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
No.
That combo would be
You know what I-
hilarious.
Thought about Mandalorian. You know how like they're what's her name? She's transporting all the sick people back to the fleet.
The armor.
Transporting
armor.
back to the fleet. Admiral Thorne connected
Yes.
that.
That we'll get into that in a
Yes.
second. You were saying?
So how she's transferring them back to the fleet. I thought when she gets there, like gets out of the sky, she's gonna see all these fucking, like the entire fleet just.
That's
destroyed.
exactly what we all thought
Yeah.
too. Me and Emily thought the same thing. Like me and Emily were saying either they're gonna get them on Mandalore or they're gonna get the fleet, one or the other. And like they were playing on Mandalore for so long, finding the Tusken Raiders collab of Mandalorians. That shit was cool. I that's what I clicked when I saw those guys like all beat up and fucking basically browned out, and they looked like Tusken Raider Mandalorians. You know the Tusken Raiders, the guys that if you watch the Book of Boba Fett, they're the ones that trained Boba Fett after he gets out of the Sarlacc pit.
Okay.
They don't speak English. They talk some other fucking language, and they're just like like they bark. They literally fucking bark. And that reminded me of that. And we saw that. It was like they're either on Mandalore or they're up there, and they're gonna fuck either one up.
Now, what's the deal with this admiral?
So, actually, I don't want to talk about it because Alex has watched a little more of, knows a little more on Grand Admiral Thrawn. So, give us what happened in that episode.
Well, so
Wait,
I mean,
what did you watch? First, let's
So
start with that.
remember the scene where they're standing with all of the Imperial warlords, and Moff
Yes.
Gideon comes in and he starts questioning leadership about this guy, Grand Admiral Thrawn.
That he's not there.
That he's not there, and that nobody knows where he is, and they all think it's bullshit, basically, right? That he's even alive. Give the backstory on who that is. I don't. I couldn't give full.
you know, basically, like, he was one of those, the highest ranking admiral in the Empire, like, mad clout all over the place. After, see, this is where it gets weird because you have lore and then you have Disney because Disney changed everything. What I think is we're going to see the Admiral Thrawn from the Rebels series. It's the animated one. But, you know, he's kind of the one with enough clout to be able to bring people back to the Empire. You know, bring the Empire back into the golden age of what it was. And he's kind of like what's spearheading us to the First Order. But like I said, like from lore, Admiral Thrawn was a badass. Like this dude did not give a fuck. He blew up planets. He made sure that like squadrons of fleets of rebels were just dead. Like didn't want captors, didn't want interrogations, just annihilated people. He did psyopses on whole planets. Like, so I don't know what we're gonna see with Thrawn, but you know I'm excited that they're bringing the character.
Are they bringing him though? Well, because they
100%.
talked about him.
100%. He is.
He's gonna be the bad guy in the Mando movie.
And
So it's not even-
for the
the bad
Ahsoka
guy is
Tano
not-
series, I think as well.
Yeah, we're gonna learn more about him in Ahsoka.
Mando movie. They're gonna be doing a Mandalorian movie.
Oh yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No fucking way. So we're gonna get a big screen version of the Mandalorian. That's gonna be even like because we all know like TV series they like not drag things out,
do
but they
drag
give
shit out.
they
They
give
do.
us more story. There's a lot more talking. Your movies have to be fucking action. So,
Right. We get the world building. They're pulling a MCU basically, because we're getting the world building, and then we're gonna see Boba, Mando,
That's been my question
Bo-Katan,
too.
and Ahsoka all in the movie.
Why don't they get Boba Fett in on this shit? Like, I'm sure he'd love to be part of getting Mandalore back. Like, he'd be like, deuces on to Moss, whatever, part of that like group where he's in. Just be like fucking gone. Like, I feel like he
But
probably did.
one, he's a giant crime lord, so you know you got that. And
I know, but he's still.
two, he has no ties to Mandalore. Like his dad was a very big exile. You know, he was never taught in Mandalorian culture or ways. He actually never even been on Mandalore at all. So like his cares for Mandalore is 0 to none in my opinion.
So,
I definitely see that.
what I was gonna say something. I fucking just evaporated. I'll remember. I'll remember.
No, this episode was fucking amazing though. Like, me and Emily like got home from doing the account. Really
Oh,
late.
I remember.
Go ahead.
So you know that chick, that the girl that got the scientist with glasses all fucked up, like got him caught.
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, but okay. Well, right. Like, here's my thing. So far, that episode is out of character for me. Like, I'm not connecting the dots with that episode yet. What are they trying to do with that?
Did you not notice the scene where she goes into the back alley and
I
speaks
did.
with Moff Gideon?
I did.
That's exactly what they're trying to do. So they're trying to recover the doctor. I forgot his name. It was literally on the tip of my tongue. Perkins. Dr. Perkins. They're trying to recover Dr. Perkins for his research on Grogu, I'm assuming, and for him to continue to research Jedi and Force sensitive people. Is what I would assume, because
Because he's
The
trying to
imps
build that.
always
I
Well,
mean,
army.
if you remember back, she was on Moff's ship.
Mhm.
Like she was a part of his crew. So like we're just kind of seeing that how the Empire is working in the shadows now. It was a world building episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so Do you
was
think?
the most entertaining, but it's like you said, it's a world building episode, so you can understand the full story. They're trying to make everything.
That's why
full
they
circle.
gave us TIE fighters at the beginning.
Yeah,
Well, also on top of that, like that whole that episode, they had those heavy hitters, people that have the money and whatnot and the influence, and you could tell like all these talks. Like I don't remember what they were talking to the scientist, and the guy was like, "Well, I have no idea what's going on," you know. And you could tell this motherfucker like works in background, like he just says those things to say it, but he
I
just
like-
has a lot of fucking.
I like how they have special pins for the people that are in like the reintegration program from the Empire. So like now they have to walk around the city and everybody sees them with that pin that tells them they were Empire, and they're like, "Fuck you, dude! Like we don't even want you here. You're just forced because we have to be nice."
Yeah, they're really building that animosity towards the New Republic, and they're showing it in the ways of like, you know, even Outer Worlds aren't requesting like joining the
Yeah,
thing.
they want to stay on
Yeah,
their own.
because
they want
what they're-
independence.
I think what they're doing is they're showing that like, okay, we got rid of the Empire, but then we have this new Republic that's just as big of a dick as Empire was. Maybe not as big of a dick, but there still are.
Just another bureaucracy.
Yeah,
That's the thing, right? Is that maybe they're not as cruel, but like you said, another bureaucracy.
yeah. So this is my thing. Like, you know, when it comes to politics, like there is no good side. I don't give a shit who fought who. Like whatever you think is right or wrong, you know, there's no right or wrong. There's no fucking beautiful and ugly. Like it's just what it is, you know, and you kind of deal with it, you know. So that's why I think they're capturing pretty well like the whole story of humanity in these shows. Like that's what I like. You know what I mean?
No, that the Mandalorian, I think, has probably been after this episode, I can definitely put it on like my top 5 favorite shows I've ever had. Like, cause just being like the ramp up they've had of Mandalorians. Like for example, first season, right? He's known as the Mandalorian. We don't even know his name because guess what? We don't need to because there's no other Mandalorians to see. He's
Yeah.
the one, right? So they've made it into this big thing. They're so rare. They're so cool. They're kind of like Jedi in a sense, right? Like you go back to the like for example, like the first war that there is in Star Wars lore is Mandalorians versus Jedi, right? Like that's like the first like battle they have like of lore in Star
Big
Wars.
conflict.
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
Mando's killed a bunch of motherfucking Jedi.
Yeah, bro, they're fucking badass.
And I can't get into the animated series. I can like for the life of me I cannot get into
It's
the
because
animated ones.
if you look at Rebels and Clone Wars, they're made for children, you know. So
Rebels, I agree with. Clone Wars grows, it ages. Like, because I mean, I was a part of the generation that got to start out with, you know, season 1 of Clone Wars, and then it grew with me. But like, it gets dark and heavy,
Okay.
and like, there's a lot of different things of lore that they're even bringing into the live action series.
tonight, literally tonight, I was telling Emily last night. I was like, because after the whole Thrawn thing happened, I was like, we need to watch Clone Wars and Rebels. We have to go watch that shit because we need to know everything about like knowing the lore of all the things. Then they're starting to introduce these little nitpicks of like, for example, you didn't even know what was happening. Knowing that shit just makes the show a little more interesting. And then back to what I was saying with the Mando thing, like they just ramped it up so much of like Mandalorians are so rare and this and that, and gave such a good backstory and like hype on Mandalorians, and now we're getting to see hundreds of Mandalorians fighting together, which I fucking love, right? Like it's
So
amazing for
this
me.
is the conclusion I came up to. I'm just gonna watch only Mandalorian and call it a fucking day. There's just so much shit to watch, bro. Like I don't want
like
to.
other shows either?
Yeah, I don't want
I
to
thought you meant
watch
with Star
like,
Wars
you know,
in general. You mean like anything in general?
No. Just all the
Star
Star
Wars.
like
Oh,
the
okay,
Star
Star
Wars,
Wars
the
stuff.
whole universe of the
I mean,
Star Wars, bro.
I-
There's
I
just so
can't
much. I'm
say
like,
that
I'm not
you're-
starting.
I can't hate
episodes.
on you for that, right? Because I get not wanting to get into having to watch 10 movies, right? 3 of them are from the 70s. You're watching these old ass
No, I've
movies.
watched the movies.
I get
I'm
what
okay
I'm
with
saying.
the movies.
What I'm trying to say is like I get not wanting to have to stick with watching everything and you know just enjoy the show, right? Like for example, our buddy Justin, we've watched Mandalorian season 1 and he said he likes it a lot and he wants to keep watching, and like he's not into Star Wars. He fucks with us and calls it Star Trek all the time. And And so like but he likes it, right? And I understand that. If you like it, watch it. You don't have to fucking watch it.
By the way, another show that you mentioned, the one with Picard. I don't know if it's the Star Trek or whatever.
yeah,
show.
Star Trek Picard. So
Picard.
the show that came
Man,
out. I haven't watched
the
it.
newest season is fucking terrible.
Really?
Terrible.
Really?
To me,
I
don't
haven't
like
caught
it.
up to it. I've watched a couple of seasons of it. Like it was entertaining. They tried to get a little Star Wars, which is kind of what they did with the reboot. You know, add a lot more action and a lot less, melodrama.
Yeah, this last one, I don't want to ruin it for you, so I'm not gonna tell you what's going
I like
on.
the
but it
I like
does
the
not-
movies that
it's
they
fucking
did
stupid.
with what's his name?
Pine.
Yeah, with Chris.
Yeah,
Pine.
those
I
are the-
enjoyed them.
Those are what I consider the reboots. They tried to like bring the Star Wars fandom
Yeah.
over,
I
added a lot more
definitely see that.
blasters and fighters and stuff like that.
I can definitely see that.
Which one
I
is
can
it?
say I enjoyed it though. Like the Star Trek movies they came out with like past like 10 years.
Oh, the two movies that they made.
Uh-huh.
There was really only.
I think
two
there was
movies that
three
they made.
There
with
might be 2 or
Chris
3.
Pine and what's his name as Spock.
Yeah. Was it 3?
Yeah, I think there was.
Yeah, there was a third one. I think he's right.
Like the old school ones where.
My dad loved Star Trek. I remember growing up being 10 years old and my dad is watching Star Trek all the time.
Yeah.
All the fucking time. And like just I can see where I get my like love for sci-fi kind of thing.
Listen, I think every dude has a love for sci-fi because we all like fucking. We all want to be in those ships. We all want to like have.
We all want to be Mandalorians.
Because as a little think
Yeah.
about it, as a little guy, you always grew up. Man, I wish I had like powers where I can jump around and
Yeah.
like have these little.
As a little
guns.
guy, I still wish I had fucking powers. What do you mean?
Yeah, I think this is like a guy thing. I really do.
Ready? If you had to choose one superpower, what would it be?
One superpower. Predicting 100% accuracy the future.
It's nice. I'd say persuasion
No,
or
fuck.
influence.
Think about it. If you could predict the future, you wouldn't need the persuasion or influence. You would just be
But
rich
with
as
persuasion
fuck.
and influence, you create your own future.
Yeah, I could just be like, hey, give me everything in the bank, transfer it to my account, and kill. What's his name? From the DC universe. Basically, whatever they say,
But that would.
people have to do.
But think about it. That would be then like the pool of people that you would have to persuade would get bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? Like, cause then they're like, why is this money being transferred? And then it would catch that you said that. Now you have to persuade this person. Then like, it would be.
Yeah,
like
but
a
anyone
snowball
that can
effect.
hear my voice, I could just be like, all right, you don't care.
One.
Give me more money.
Oh, I didn't get my. What's your answer, Mickey?
That's tough. I was thinking
That's
about.
tough. It's tough.
I was thinking about like how insanely hard to manage being able to predict the future is.
Mine would be telekinesis.
How?
I want to
What do you
go.
mean
go-
how?
go
You're
deeper
controlling
into
the
it. Maybe I
future.
haven't
Do you
thought
know
about it.
how much goes into the future? Just one, what's it called, the
No.
butterfly effect or whatever. Like just one little thing can
Yeah, no. So I would-
derail everything in the timeline.
Yeah, what I'm saying is by this, like, okay, well, let's say today I have $10,000. By the end of the year, I want to have 2 million out of those 10,000. Like, what stocks should I invest into to get this? That's just an example, right? Like, I would be able to predict like what's gonna happen with Bitcoin. You would just slowly
Fuck
invest
stocks.
into
You gotta wait.
I think what you
Lottery,
want is
motherfucker.
Well,
I think
no,
what you want
next
is
week.
AI.
Next
I mean,
week.
shit.
Or-
Anakin Skywalker was clairvoyant. That's why he was one of the most fucking feared Sith out there. Could predict how you fucking move to the T just because he saw it in his head.
Vader, bro.
Yeah, so,
Fucking
You know what I
Vader.
mean? That's why, like, because you don't have to elect to like when you're predicting the future. You don't have to elect to go after everything. You just elect to go after things that, like, anytime you would, let's say, if you got a lot of money and somebody wants to sue you, you would predict that shit ahead of time, and you would know exactly what lawyer team to hire, what they have to say, like things like that to get out of it too. And I'm not saying to use it for the malintent. Let's say, like,
You would.
huh?
I
No,
would pro-
I wouldn't.
I would probably go with the
So would it
ability
be
to
like
slow
an
down
Eye
time.
of Magamoto thing where you see like a billion different futures and then the one you'd want to go to, you just took that path? Or
That's
would
what-
it be
That's what
like-
I'm picturing.
kind of like what Doctor Strange
Exactly. That's what
did.
I'm picturing.
That's exactly what he said. I am. I have. I don't know the.
Yeah,
I don't know
that.
the correct name either.
that where I could that would be too So I can't slow down fucking time, right? So to go through all the single.
That's
fucking-
what I want to do. I want to slow down time. I want to be able to completely stop time.
And then what?
Do whatever the fuck I want to do.
But nobody's there to do it with you. They're all stuck.
I don't care. I'm selfish.
This man
I don't give a
said,
fuck.
fuck these people.
Bro, you know
Fucking
how
kids.
lonely you would be. Nobody would talk to you. Nobody like you wouldn't have. You would
I
have
c-
zero
I can-
communication.
I can
Or
slow
even-
down time. I don't have to be like.
If you want
I don't
free
want
food,
time
you gotta cook
frozen
it
completely.
yourself.
I don't want people just sitting there. I just want to be able to slow down time on my convenience.
Ready? Well, now, if you had to pick one superhero,
One superhero.
Like to be?
yeah,
I've always
Does
gravitated
it, does it
towards
have to be a
Batman.
little more? Does it have to be a little more?
bitch, that's just being rich.
What? Which one?
He said Batman.
Give me Batman.
So Batman, I can see what he's doing because that's more like feasible. You know what I mean? Because he really doesn't
I'm
have.
talking superheroes here. You can be fucking Magneto, bitch. What do you
Are we
mean?
are we
Batman?
keeping genres like
No, any superhero.
DC?
Anywhere,
Okay, I'm going Omni Man or the Invincible from the Invincible series because the motherfuckers in my opinion, destroy even Superman.
I'm saying Thanos. How many fucking superheroes took to fucking knock his ass down?
Well, that was only because of the gauntlet, no?
Yes.
I like the idea of Kang.
You just want the gauntlet. You don't want to be Thanos. You want to be the
No,
gauntlet.
I want to be Thanos. He done destroyed fucking everything.
He look at it this way. Thanos did what the Gauntlet did on a small scale on his own. He
On
would
his
just
own.
get to planets with
And
his
fuck
fucking
some shit up.
with his army. Literally would split the societies in half.
Motherfucker was
Right?
a Titan.
Yeah.
He just split the fucking societies in half and like randomly is like, all right, left side, all fucking dead, all fucking dead.
That's balanced. As it should be.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
No, I was like, no cap. Like I would
Ba-
want to be
that's
like
a good
Thanos.
pick. I think Kang is a good idea. Like to see like the potential power that he's gonna possess coming up in these movies is
So
gonna be
who's
nasty.
arguably the strongest superhero that there is?
I mean, if we're talking about Kang from the comics, he does what Thanos does on a like universal scale.
Across the different multiverses.
Isn't
Yeah.
Doomsday supposed to be like stupid?
Instead of taking out planets, he takes out a whole fucking timelines.
It's like you never existed.
You know what I
And there's still more stronger fucking beings out there
than
Kang?
him.
than Kang so far. Yeah.
I think Marvel's washing. I like that they're moving on. For example, when
To
I
what?
No, listen, ready? I like how they not abandoned, but like are moving on from the normal Avengers, right? Like we weren't supposed to get Chris Evans anymore, but looks like they might do that. And they weren't supposed to get Downing Jr. anymore, but looks like they might do that. But I think that's right. Like when I first heard it, like, oh, they're finally done with these guys' movies. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna like I enjoy Captain America movies. I enjoy the Iron Man movies, and a couple of the other
I
actors.
like
in
Chris Pratt, bro. I'm kind of sad this is the last one because I think
Yeah.
he's a good fucking like. He's just naturally funny in the
Yeah.
movies. You know what I mean?
But I think it's kind of good they're pushing out and getting giving more spotlight to not spotlight but pushing new ones in that aren't as known. Like for example, Moon Knight, Daredevil. Like these are coming up.
Man,
I enjoy them.
I think Daredevil is like the worst superhero out of all of them.
No,
He's the worst
fucking
one,
way. Did you watch the Netflix series?
Yes.
I liked it a lot.
Nah, man.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Who I like is the whatchamacallit, the one that they cannot kill. Like he gets shot and grows a fucking hand back and then they'll fucking gets destroyed. Deadpool. I like Deadpool.
Yes.
Deadpool's pretty cool. But
Deadpool.
you gotta be
Oh.
you gotta look like a nutsack.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fuck
yeah.
that.
Did you see
You
that?
gotta look like a fucking scrotum.
After the acquisition of, or I guess they dissolved because Disney dissolved Marvel Entertainment and just absorbed it into Disney, and now, so they reclassified the Deadpool movies and the old X-Men movies.
Yep, as part
The Spider-Mans, both Tobey and Garfield.
Yep.
Yeah, the Venom movies and something else. They reclassified that as all in the multiverse of the MCU.
Yep.
So there's no telling who they're gonna bring in next. I mean, obviously Deadpool 3's coming, and that's
and
gonna connect a lot of
and
shit.
they're bringing Hugh Jackman back.
hmm
Yeah, Hugh Jackman, another one, Wolverine.
He's
I
coming
think he's a
back.
pretty solid superhero. He just don't give a fuck about anything. He's all about like being right and righteous, and that's the end of that. You know, like
You said
Not at the same
He's
time.
a savage motherfucker,
Yeah.
though.
he is.
He
is.
definitely has his
He don't take no
anti-hero
shit.
moments where he's like, "Fuck off,
Well, that's
fuck you. I don't care what you need help with. I'm living my life. I'm smoking my cigars and polishing my blades."
well, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I like those type of heroes, like Deadpool, and then Wolverine. Like, they're not really a hero, but they're not a villain either.
Yeah,
they're like
the
very
anti-hero.
fluid.
I have
Yeah.
to say though, one of the reasons I love the Daredevil series, I like Matt Murdock. I like what's his name in real life? Fuck, skipped my tongue. But him, I think
Charlie.
Charlie
Or-
Cox, right?
Yeah.
Charlie Cox, I think he's a good actor. Did really good on Daredevil. From what it looks like, he's struggling to act in other places from being acting blind for so long. Because he's had other projects that he's acted blind in too, I think. And then Vincent D'Onofrio, the guy that plays Kingpin.
Anti-hero.
Yeah, anti-hero. So that's what like Deadpool was classified as. But
Moon Knight as well.
Moon Knight, right? Because they're kind of, they're not necessarily villains, but their motive
They're
is,
not
is
always
personal,
on the
usually.
justice side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their motive is usually personal.
Well,
Or they
what I'm-
kill people, like
Yeah.
Punisher.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
There
what
you
I'm
go.
trying to
another,
say.
Another example of an anti-hero, which sometimes is a villain.
Well, but to look at Punisher, right? Like, he does kill people. He's
Fucking
technically
psycho.
not a necessarily good or a bad guy, but he doesn't kill undeserving people.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like I think those are the heroes that I like because it's not always clean cut
And
left or
so
right.
did
you know?
watch like the Fall of Kingpin in Daredevil? Like I think Kingpin was a great character, and I love that they brought
Yes.
him back in Hawkeye. Did you watch Hawkeye?
Yes.
That was really good too. I
Yeah.
think Hawkeye was a good series.
yo,
I'm curious how we're gonna see him in Echo, if we ever get to see Echo, because they're kind of reslotting all the shows.
Hawkeye is another one I didn't like too much
Really, I enjoyed it.
because see the thing is Hawkeye is not a really superhero. Neither is Daredevil. Like they don't have a bit. Well, Daredevil
dude,
kind
if we're talking about like anything like villains
Daredevil
included,
definitely has special ability.
if you're including villains into this,
He's blind,
give
bitch.
me Darkseid.
Darkseid.
Oh, Darkseid.
I was reading the abilities that he has, and the Omega effect beams. All right, it says are an intense of heated energy that can act as a concussive force, can disintegrate organisms or objects, can cause a target to have never existed, and can resurrect fallen beings killed by them.
Yeah, but then you have Silver Surfer right there too, right along. Because Silver Surfer is kind of an anti-hero, right?
Yes,
He is. And
he
took
was
4
like
people to take him down.
he was like a judge for like Galactus and shit like that until he turned against Galactus.
Yeah.
So he used to go scout out the places that Galactus would go, the planets that he would eat.
This man has powers of telepathy, telekinesis, and he can create psionic avatars. He's insane.
There's just too many powers. I
Busted.
wouldn't know how
Also,
to manage them all.
Darkseid's size is relative depending on how he wants to jump into through his boom tube, just a little extra.
The what now?
That too.
So he could be like as big as he wants or as small as he wants, depending on, because like he jumps between dimensions. So Darkseid can, if he wants to be
We
the
did
size
Ozzy
of
here today.
humanoids, then he is. If he wants to be the size of a planet, then that's how he jumps into your universe.
He can literally hold your planet.
What does he stand on?
On elephants.
Yo, conspiracy theory.
On elephants, bro.
On elephants. Get the fuck out of here.
Nerd pod.
Like I was saying, though, I like how they're moving forward. I think it's cool they're bringing, like, for example, how they picked the most successful Netflix series of Daredevil. They're doing the whole Hawkeye thing.
Netflix, bro, Daredevil had just so much fucking talking in it.
I
So
liked
much
it.
talking in
I
it.
enjoyed it. I thought it was my favorite out of their Marvel series.
Another one.
I
that-
agree.
Another one that sucked was Kane.
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage, and then the chick. What was the girl?
Jessica Jones.
Jessica
Yeah,
Jones.
both. They
Then
both
you had the
fucking sucked.
Iron Fist.
Iron
Okay,
Fist
Iron
was-
Fist, I will agree. Iron Fist sucked.
Yeah, it sucked big time.
And I think it sucks so bad, man. I'm sorry to say, the guy's acting was.
You guys ever
Yeah.
watch?
Not it.
You guys
Yeah.
ever watch Marvel's Agents of Shield?
Yes, I watched the first
Yeah,
like
that's
4 or
another
5
one
seasons.
that
of it.
I'm like,
I enjoyed it. It got dry though.
super quick. Like,
Well,
after
no. The
season,
thing
like-
is, it starts really slow, and then it ramps up a lot,
Yeah.
and then it gets crazy and crazier and crazier and crazier.
yeah, but then it
Wait,
gets
what
too
are we
crazy.
talking about?
Marvel,
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Marvel Agents of Shield.
Oh yeah, it gets better, but it's kind of like it's cable television or like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's just not. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. I just
Moon
want,
Knight, I'm excited for Moon Knight.
I just want to predict
'Cause
the
I-
future.
I-
That was good.
That's good
I-
enough for me.
I enjoyed the grittiness of Moon Knight. That was something I liked. They need to do. Apparently, they are pushing for like the actors that were part of Obi-Wan. They're pushing for a season 2. They're like, we want it, we want it. Which shit, if we can see Vader again, I'm all for it.
But they done killed Vader 95 different ways already, bro.
What do you mean killed Vader?
No?
Well, he's he never.
What?
They kill him in the and like he basically kills himself in the end.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. They done destroyed him already 95 different fucking ways. Like, see, this is another thing.
Hey,
that
bro,
I
you know how they say like some people just have your number. Like we're talking about with Israel and like how we believe like Poetan maybe was gonna beat him because he just has his number. Obi-Wan just has his fucking number, bro.
No, just my thing is like I dislike when they take it back. Like, just fucking continue the story. Like, I don't give a shit to know what happened before. Like, this person is already by the idea I already know what the ending is. So like how it came to be, I don't care.
I have to disagree in the sense of Vader because there's so many stories of Vader. For example, he goes back to I don't want to butcher the fucking planet. Where he's from,
Tatooine.
He goes back to Tatooine, and
Wait, that's the only thing I know about Star Wars. Tatooine. Holy shit.
he fucking mollywops Tusken Raiders because apparently like when he goes back and his figures out his mom's dead and all this shit, he fucking kills a whole tribe of those motherfuckers. There's so many stories of him killing like squadrons of troopers.
So
and, like-
what? He dies at the end, bro. And we know
Bro,
how
he's
it all
a fucking
ends.
badass.
I mean,
He's a
yeah,
fucking
he's
badass.
literally, if you go to like the comics or the lore, he's literally ripped the existence, like the plane of existence apart because of he got so strong in the Force. He's brought in Padme back from the Force to like, he's such a strong motherfucker that I'd love to see them flesh it out. But like, I get what you're saying with like, I want to see what's next. Because like they really, in my opinion, they really fucked up 7, 8, and 9.
Yes, they did. Thank you. Someone fucking finally agrees.
Well, I mean, I can't say I didn't enjoy the movies watching them because I'm a sucker for movies in general. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like the way they fucked the story of Star Wars, yeah, they fucked it.
Yeah. And it was a lot of fan service. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand they need to put that fan service in there to sell the movie, but like, give us some actual plot instead of like just falling off and then bringing back Palpatine.
Yep.
They
This is what I'm talking about.
They definitely shouldn't have brought back Palpatine. Rey should definitely not have been his fucking kid. Like that shit was crazy. Like to see that was so stupid.
Let's talk about other movies that they done the shit to. Underworld. Love the first one.
I don't know.
Underworld, it's like
I know.
between
It's the one
vampires
with
and
the
lycans.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lycans are basically werewolves. Like
Yeah.
they show this like modern time, how this whole fucking thing progresses, and then they fucking go back in time in history, and I was like, motherfucker, I don't give a shit what happened in the beginning. I want a continuation of this. Like, give me the
You're
continuation
not a fan of
this.
prequels, huh?
Yeah, it was just
No.
more
Yeah,
of a-
but then
I feel
there's
like it
some
was just
good
more of a
ones,
fan
like
service.
Kingsman. The first Kingsman movie, when they after the first two, there's one where they go back. I forget. I think it's just Kingsman.
Yes.
But
yes.
that movie is phenomenal.
Oh, I haven't
We're
watched
talking about the super agents, of
Yeah.
they get their suits and
it.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that-
they go back to the first one, and it's back in like World War II era.
Yeah,
And then movies like Rogue One. That was like the one Star Wars movie that came out that people were like,
Best Star Wars movie ever.
yeah, but see, when the Kingsmen, like the Kingsmen are fighting one guy, and they just kind of finish that. You know what I mean? Like, there's one bad guy, and they kind of finish it. So like that whole movie encompasses the whole story. Even if they do go back, that's just completely different story that has nothing to do with the last one, right? Like it's just a name that
It's
kind of
just because
continues.
Kingsman deals with a story. Star
Yes.
Wars deals with a world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, but I still.
It's just
man.
too much, dude. It's like Tarkov. I can't get into it.
Oh shit! Me and Alex had a bunch of hours in that game. We basically learned that shit together.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I don't
Tarkov
know,
was
man.
fun.
I just don't like prequels. I don't like any of those noir bullshits that they do. You know what I mean? Like, I just want, like, bro, like, just continue with the story or just finish it.
I do have to say I am liking how Disney is doing like they're appealing to adults with the grittiness in some of their series that they know adults are gonna watch, like the continuations of Star Wars and Disney and stuff, like how they did with Moon Knight, how they did with Obi-Wan, how they're doing with Andor, the new show they came out with that's in the Star Wars universe, which is another prequel show.
And I agree with Ozzy. Andor is one of the best out there. I'd
Andor is
put it
amazing.
like equal with Mandalorian. Maybe the Mandalorian has a tiny step above, but Andor was amazing.
Andor's doing great. Like first episode, just pow pow when they're the fucking guys are on their knees. It's like I love it. I like grittiness.
Jay, did you watch
Dark.
Peaky Blinders?
No.
You watched it,
First like 2-3 seasons.
No, I
bro?
haven't seen Peaky
Peaky Blinders is crazy. You still haven't watched the new season, Alex?
Peaky? No, I need to finish it.
Bro, Peaky Blinders is such a fucking good show. It is on my top 5 for sure. On my top 5.
They're getting a movie,
Yeah.
I think, and
Because-
there's a VR game as well.
VR games don't excite me.
COVID fucked our last season of Peaky Blinders. So the last season I think was the season that just came out was season 7 or season 6. There was supposed to be another season after that. The storyline was written for there to be another season after that. So this last season that they gave us because COVID fucked us, they told us that we're not making any more series, but we will give you a movie to finish the storyline because they left it with the craziest cliffhanger, and it's not a bad cliffhanger. It is a cliffhanger that you're like, oh, he's gonna fuck shit up. Like shit's about to.
They're
go
very
down.
good at that. They're very good at good cliffhangers. Like the first episode when the guy comes back, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they leave you with cliffhangers that don't make you mad. They get you excited for what he's gonna do next.
Yeah, they don't.
Tommy Shelby's a badass.
It's not like you fall in love with a character early on and then they kill him and then that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I like those movies. Those are the best. I hate the ending, but when they kill the main character, like, all right, perfect. There's
for
not gonna be another
example,
one.
the movie Adam Sandler did, Uncut Gems.
But then
Yes.
later on when they met up in that alley,
What?
when they met up in the alley and basically they were like trying to I don't remember
Talking
exactly.
about Peaky or
Peaky.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they met up in the alley and they pulled out the Tommy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've
that
watched.
scene was pretty
I've
cool.
watched Peaky Blinders 3 times over.
Get the fuck out, bro.
Bro, it's fucking
good.
good.
It's good.
It's
good.
fucking good.
The only time I will turn on a movie, the second time or the third time, and
When
that
he's with a
usually
girl?
plays in nope. Nope. It plays in a fucking background. I'm not paying attention to it, and I'm doing something else. It's just the background noise. That's the only time I'll watch it again.
Peaky is that good.
Bro,
I saw No Way Home twice in theaters because I thought it was that good.
No Way Home. What's that?
The
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah,
Oh
When they
yeah,
brought all
yeah,
the-
yeah, yeah.
Actors back and shit.
Yeah.
killed the hottest MILF in the MCU.
Who?
When they killed Auntie.
Auntie dead?
Yeah,
They got it.
Auntie dead?
Auntie dead.
How did Auntie die?
I don't fucking remember.
Green Goblin got her.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
God damn it.
Hey, every
Perfect.
Spider-Man story like has
Wasted
seemed
a
to end
perfectly,
with someone
perfectly
fucking dying
beautiful
bad.
woman, huh? What an idiot. Green Goblin is gay.
Hey, I have to say because of the Tobey Maguire movies, Spider-Man was my favorite superhero growing up. I mean, maybe people go to hate on them now, but I as a kid I loved
No,
them.
Spider-Man, I think with Spider-Man, not Tobey Maguire one, but the newer version is of
Tom
it.
Holland.
Yes. I think they made it, now correct me if I'm wrong, but they made that one a little closer to the comic books, right? Because he's actually has the strength and things like that. Because Toby didn't have all that strength where he could like lift the cars and throw the cars.
What
and
do you
shit.
mean? He stopped a fucking train. I think he had the strength.
Yeah, but he stopped the train with his little spider.
He stopped a train.
With his spider little rubber band.
That's even
thingies.
more impressive. You can do it with your hand. That's bone. If you do
Nah,
it with
I don't know.
web,
Man. Tommy been lifting cars, all right? Been lifting cars over his head and tossing them with his own hands, not with these little spider webs.
I mean, Spider-Man has so many iterations, like amazing, spectacular, like, you know, the Tom Holland's
the
more of
flamboyant
like
Spider-Man.
the high school age. Like I would think he's more of like an Ultimate Spider-Man, which was where he like came to his powers really young. He has a lot of strength. I mean, if a lot of people sleep on Spider-Man, motherfucker could beat the Hulk.
Yes, he could. He could fuck Hulk up. That's what I'm saying. That's why I like the newest ones better.
And then people love talking about how Hulk is a lot stronger than
I can just imagine.
They dumb down Hulk like
So bad.
crazy.
I can just imagine
MCU.
Spider-Man just kiting Hulk and
Kiting
Hulk. He's just swinging through the building, and Hulk just trying to jump from building to building.
And well, Hulk can fucking keep up. Just, like you're right about that. They're dumbing down Hulk because that motherfucker
insanely.
Hulk smash and he be smashing some
And he
shit.
has so many other powers in some of the comics that they didn't even mention.
Talking about great
Even
movies. The
Professor
Incredible
Hulk, like in the comics, still has the strength. Like he just also has the brain of Banner. Like they just were like, you know, we got to make him into comedic relief because we can't sell his movies because technically Paramount still owns distribution.
The Hulk movie was amazing too.
Yeah, you know what sucked was the fucking She-Hulk.
Oh yeah.
That one was fucking terrible.
I didn't.
I
even pay
like
attention to
She-Hulk.
that.
Terrible.
Do you
I
like
did not
She-Hulk or do you like the series She-Hulk?
The series. I mean,
Okay.
I also like the comics. The comics are good too.
Yeah, I didn't like the series at all. At all.
I didn't like this sitcom like factor of it. Like it
No,
was
I didn't
it
like
was
the fact that they portrayed
too-
her stronger than Hulk because in comics she's not stronger than Hulk. She has a lot of strength, but she's not stronger than Hulk.
I don't think they portrayed her stronger than this man in the series necessarily.
Yeah, they did. Remember when she was throwing those rocks and then she like gets one over him?
Yeah, and then you know what he does after that? He launches it like halfway across the planet. He's like, "Fuck you." You don't remember that part?
Yeah, but
You don't remember that part?
I mean, yeah, but also Hulk kind of he pulls from that demon where he gets his power from, which is
This is
all
anger.
through rage and anger. So like depending on what evolution of Hulk we have depends on his strength level.
Definitely.
I don't know. I just don't like didn't like the She-Hulk at all. But then again, I think I don't know, man. Some of those female superhero
Jay also
movies, they
hates
fucked
women,
it up.
so.
I don't hate them. I don't hate them.
Fucking with you.
I think some of those
Jay, do
female
you think you can
superhero
beat?
movies-
You think you can beat She-Hulk?
Obviously, bro. I can toss that rock, no problem.
Oh, I saw the trailer for The Marvels. You saw that? So Miss Marvel, what is
Captain
what is-
Marvel.
so
Captain
Miss Marvel,
Marvel.
Captain
Marvel,
Marvel and Photon.
right? I actually enjoy. I
Another
kind
movie
of.
I won't watch.
I think I have to say I enjoyed the Miss Marvel, the show with Kamala Khan.
Yes.
I liked it. I liked all the little like things of like introducing mutants and stuff like that. I thought it was cool.
The art style, in my opinion, was very good too.
That
How
too.
they
That
they
too.
interacted. Yeah.
Another movie that they done fucked up was X-Men when they're going back in time for Wolverine and going back in
Logan,
time for
you
the
didn't
X-Men.
like Logan?
No, fuck no, I didn't like Logan.
What?
I mean, Logan was future, but if you mean like Days of Future Past
Days of
and
Future
stuff like
Past,
that,
one.
Oh,
Days of
I was
Future
and
gonna say,
like
Logan.
Apocalypse
Logan
and
was
stuff.
fucking great.
Yeah. Like
When
I
he has-
agree.
when he's dragging around demented fucking Professor X. Like, come on.
No,
I loved Logan.
that one was
Yeah.
future. That
Yeah,
one was future.
way
That one was
future.
fine. What I would like to see is
They
that
said
little
the Deadpool's
girl.
gonna be before that too.
Now that little girl, I would want to see that movie because she seems like a badass, bro. She seems like she could fuck some shit up. Like I want to see her, but they're not gonna put that shit out, are they?
I heard they shit the bed with the New Mutants, right? I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it was not great in my opinion.
It was supposed to be really dark, wasn't it?
Yeah, they just they made the DC faults of just trying to make it way too dark
Hey, Gwaylen.
and forget that it's a
Babe, can you give me water?
superhero movie.
Yeah, but see that like, do you at least agree that that little girl
Yes.
in fucking Logan
Yes.
was a badass?
She'd be a fucking.
Now
sick-
that's a superhero I would want to see, not the Captain Marvel that flew around like I don't fucking know, man. I just didn't.
Captain Marvel is actually one of the most powerful superheroes in the MCU,
No, I agree. I
but
agree. But
they dumbed down her power a lot. So
I don't know, man. Or they did the same thing with DC with the girl with the whip. What was her name?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. That was another fucking dumbass.
The whip of truth.
The whip of truth. The whip of bullshit.
I don't know. I
You know
Did you
what
guys
else
watch the
movies I
Arrow
liked a lot?
series?
Huh?
You guys
Arrow?
watched the Arrow series
Yes.
from
Yeah.
CW?
No,
You guys enjoyed it?
Shit, no.
Yes,
it
but
went
that's another series that I
very
didn't
south
finish.
very quick, like a lot of CW shows.
Another one that I didn't like was when they got those fucking
This passage.
B grade heroes into that show. Like they had the fucking the sister. You know what I'm talking about?
Something of Tomorrow,
I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know.
League of Tomorrow,
Legends
or
of
Legends
Tomorrow.
of Tomorrow. Yeah.
That one was.
Did you
shit,
guys
too.
watch Eternals?
All of Arrow's spin-offs, which is Flash and Legend of Tomorrow, I didn't like any of them.
Yeah.
Flash was okay the first 2 seasons, but
I feel like Arrow was okay the first couple seasons too, and then he went back to the island. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
I
Yeah.
liked Arrow. That was the one I enjoyed. I watched it till the end.
But yeah, the which one you just said?
Eternals.
Eternals. I don't know
didn't-
where they fit.
I
in
started
everything.
Eternals the first 20 minutes.
Shut it
Stop.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
me
I
too.
heard for a
I
lot of
didn't like
people it was the same thing. I didn't watch it personally.
I didn't.
You
I didn't
watched
like
it, right, Alex?
Eternals, yeah, I saw the Eternals. It was poorly put, in my opinion. Like, I feel like we could have waited on this movie, like, and introduced a lot more stronger people and stuff. Because like the only place we've seen it in the MCU even mentioned was on like a ad on the side of a web page that was shown in the She-Hulk series. It talked about the hand that came up out of the ocean. And like we're only hearing rumors now of the future where this is where we'll get vibranium from.
Got you.
So
Let me see which one.
lost mine.
it was
Yeah,
it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
a great movie, but
Yeah,
it did
no.
kind of show the power of the MCU a little bit and introduced us to Celestials.
Yeah, the Celestials. Yeah, that one. Because I turned it on and I heard that it was very, very slow. Like the whole thing was super slow.
Yes, it was very slow. They took us through the whole fucking creation of history.
Which is fucking dumb. It is. I mean, think about it. I don't know, man.
You guys all watched Game of Thrones?
Nope.
I watched the first season,
I
and
fast-forwarded
actually the
through that
first 2
shit, Only the
seasons.
fight scenes. Only the fight scenes.
First 2 seasons and all the sex scenes.
And all
Nope,
the
no sex scenes for me. Just the fight scenes. Fuck all the sex
You just
Bro, I-
skip the sex scenes like that, Jack?
Yeah.
Oh
easily.
I do have to say,
When you get that in
when
your
you
own
watch the
actual
first,
life, you don't
when
need
you
those
watch the
scenes.
first episode and it's like sister and brother fucking. You're like, all right.
They
Why
get
does
into it
everybody,
quick.
You start questioning yourself, like, why does everybody like this show? You get into it, it gets good. I do have to say it's one of those shows that like they make you hate a character and then somehow make you like him.
It's also one of those shows that you can't love a character because you never know if they're going to die in the next
Yep.
5 seconds.
Yep. They might die out
But-
of nowhere for no reason.
Last season fell off so hard.
Yeah.
House of Dragons was good, in my opinion.
I
The like
Same
before
thing.
series.
They're gonna make a sequel of Jon Snow's story.
Yeah,
Of
I
him
started the House
him
of
going
Dragons,
back to
couldn't
the
fucking
watch.
finish that. There's another one on Amazon Prime with like fucking pixies and fairies. That one was fucking complete flop too. It's terrible.
Carnival Row.
Oh,
Yeah, I
the
started
boys.
again.
Yeah.
The Boys.
Yeah,
The
that's
Boys.
another
The
bullshit.
Boys.
I didn't
Oh,
get
you don't
into
like it?
Nope.
It's
What?
so crazy. It's good.
Bro.
It's so crazy.
I love
it's
it.
Good. It's amazing.
It's
I
so
like
funny.
The Boys, and the storyline gets good. It gets really
And it's
fucking
super entertaining.
And it's animated, but they come from the same comic run, Invincible, on Amazon. It's a great fucking animated series.
Yeah, I don't know.
The
You
Boys
know
is
which Amazon one I'd really liked was the one with what's the guy from The Office?
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan. That's
Have
the one
you
I
watched
liked.
the other one from the Clancy line?
Reacher
Reacher.
is fucking great.
Reacher
Really? I
was
haven't
good.
watched Reacher.
Yes. Got
What's the
fucking
other one?
Thaddeus from Blue Mountain State, but he's yoked like no other.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I liked Reacher.
Oh, Blue Mountain State. That's a classic.
Sorry.
Yeah. The one with Chris Pine, or not Chris Pine, Chris Pratt.
Pratt?
Where he's trying to, he's a military dude that's trying to, they're saying that he has a brain tumor and he doesn't, he's trying to,
that's the one I'm looking for. That's literally the one I'm looking for.
I forget what it's called.
Chris Pratt.
Also, if you like D&D style stuff, Legend of Ex Machina is a great anime on
You know
Amazon
what?
too.
Another movie with I think it was Chris Pratt that was good. It was when they went into the future to fight a war, and his daughter was there, and they're fighting these fucking animals.
I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it though.
I like that one. That one was pretty good. I wish they had a second one for that one.
You're into documentaries. There's a really good one on Showtime called Catching Lightning about the MMA UFC prospect that ended up stealing like $40 million in a heist. Like, dude was like running with people like Iceman and shit like that.
No shit.
And just one day disappeared out of nowhere because he stole 40 million
From who?
pounds.
From
Forget
a
his
bank?
name.
From a bank or people?
So apparently the UK had these like fortified stash houses that they just held like racks of money in. And
The government money?
The Terminal List.
Terminal list.
terminal, yeah,
That shit's
yeah.
fire. That was a really good one. They make him think. They make him think he's fucking going crazy, which is. I don't want to spoil it. Fuck, I don't want to spoil it. Never mind.
Terminal list. Let me look up.
All right, I have to
Terminal
say it.
list.
Fuck it. That's what makes the last season of Peaky so good. Do the same shit to that motherfucker. They make him think he's fucking fucked up and sick, and then then at the end they're like, he figures out he's not, and then that's like, oh my god, that show is so fucking
See,
good.
the
The movie has got to be amazing.
That one, why I think that one was good, because that's like that to
You
me,
guys seen
that's like something that could actually happen
the
in
Terminal
life.
listing?
Yeah, like you could
You guys
actually
seen
have somebody like that. that
the
could do it.
western that Netflix released, the Harder They Fall? That's really good. Really,
I
really
need to
good.
watch it. I
was-
still
I-
have
I
that
was-
on my to watch list.
I was telling you about that the other day. Yeah, what's the guy? The name of the actor? He's in the new Creed movie. He's getting
Michael B. Jordan.
no,
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors. He's getting hit right now because apparently he hit a girl or some shit like that.
All the charges were dropped.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got a movie called
That's an interesting
The
one
Harder
to get
They
into.
Fall. It's called The Harder They Fall. It's a Western movie, and it's got Idris Elba as the villain, the main villain, and the like supporting cast is really.
You know
good.
what?
That
Idris
movie
Elba
really
is
good.
pretty good fucking villain.
Yeah, he is
Like,
a great
he's
villain.
Oh.
a great villain.
Idris Elba across the board. Just whatever.
Yeah,
Idris Elba.
he can play a good hero too.
Now, the one where he fights a lion that he did here recently was not great,
I
but
didn't
you know.
watch that.
Oh, that was.
Yeah, the lion that's like eating people and shit. See, it's just like the Cocaine Bear. I would never turn that movie on.
Cocaine's Bear's funny. That one's just
Bullshit.
ridiculous.
Bullshit.
I've heard Cocaine Bear is like a scary movie kind of movie that is just like bad acting on purpose.
I don't. Dude, I'm telling you, for me, movies have to be fucking. I don't want to think about shit. I just want to watch it. I just want a bunch of action, and I just want to watch it. I want a hero that goes through hard times, fucking conquers hard times, becomes somebody very fucking famous, and during this time, he fights some shit up. That's it.
Nah,
That's what I want.
I like Mandalorian. That he's already just fucking.
I
badass.
just literally described.
No, he's
Mandalorian.
already badass. He doesn't have to go.
When he
through
was
hard
like,
times.
he didn't learn that from me. Like, I was like, yeah.
He definitely did not learn that from him.
Right.
He fucks anything up.
Well, Mandalorian?
Because remember, so when
But he didn't. Like, he's still going through progression of his character. He's fucking things up slowly. But he didn't fuck shit
Man.
up in the beginning.
What do you mean?
No, he didn't, bro. In the beginning, he was getting his ass handed to him until he got that brand new shiny Beskar on him. Then he slowly started fucking
you're
shit up.
absolutely wrong. What do you mean? He's in that that I was just talking about. Like he's in the room with all like the 4 troopers. I like these odds, bro. Come on.
Yeah, but that's expected of him to do fuck 4 troopers up, right? Like, but it's not expected to fuck 10 of them up.
Oh, he is.
That's what I'm saying. When you see him fucking up 10 later, because he's progressing. You know what I mean?
Nah.
He had to go through some hard times. He didn't want to deal with the baby. Then he's like, fuck it, I'll deal with it. Like, because you want him to do shit that you don't, like, you know what I mean? He goes through hard times. He's not
Pedro
all playing-
Pascal, the best surrogate father on television so far.
Yeah,
That's a good way to
that's
put
where
it.
Miggy gets his jokes from.
The Last of Us. That's gonna be a good one to see. They're already working
Bro.
on part 3. I think they're also
Part 3. We don't even got the part 2 yet.
No, I'm saying part 3 of the game
Ah,
because they have a part 2 of the game, but they're working.
so are they
on
gonna
part-
wait for the part 2 of the part 3 of the game to come out, and that's when they're gonna do part 3 for the show?
I don't know. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work.
Yeah, well, for people who played the game, one of the characters, that doesn't stay around in the second part. Like, they've
not-
already announced that they're changing that, so I don't know
What?
how closely.
No. They did?
Yeah,
No fucking way. So
they're
they're
gonna still be
keeping-
around.
they're keeping
Yeah.
that person.
Yeah.
No, okay. I have to say, with the moment that the Last of Us show came out, like they released, oh, we're gonna do a Last of Us show. I wanted to cry because I knew that was gonna happen if they stayed true to the story. But it needs to happen.
I want
sad-
God of War.
God of War. I think they are gonna do a God of War show.
They are, and I think the dude that already does the acting, it should be the one that plays it.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh, I thought
he's
you were gonna
literally in a
say he
mocap
is
suit,
doing
just
it.
fucking doing that shit, voicing it while he's there. So
Yep.
What'd you say, Mickey?
I thought he said that he was actually doing it. He wasn't confirming it. I thought he was confirming that guy was doing it.
Oh no. But he should. That guy should.
He should. He's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
God of War. Bring back some God of War, some fucking Titans and shit. Let a fucking have God fuck them up. You know what I mean?
Jay, did you play the
that's
newest game? God of War?
You know, Alex, I
played
have
God
to
of War in a
say,
long time.
for people who aren't into games and don't watch like little walkthroughs and clips like that, they don't know what was supposed to happen, and now they'll never know.
Bruh, I've watched walkthroughs. I don't need to play a game. I can just watch a walkthrough.
Wait, Alex, if they've official, no, I don't want to do it because next thing you know, then they do, like, you know, that person's gone. Like they've
it could be a play.
You think?
What are you
It
talking
could be a
about?
fish. Say that they're gonna keep a fan favorite to
what do you
bring
think-
people back
what
for
do you
the
think-
series.
What do you think, Alex? Do we tell them?
I mean, the information's already out there. Might as well.
Okay, so Last of Us Part 1 happens, right?
Yes.
We all know like, it was very true to the game, like more than I expected. I'll have to say that. There was literally episodes in The Last of Us Season 1 that I was like, bro, like they did it exactly like how that mission played out in the fucking game. Like it
Yeah.
was so fucking
Well,
close. to
you
how
said
the
the
game was.
last one was exactly like the game. You just
Yeah.
fuck everybody up.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, like, just like that too. Like the ending. The only thing that was different that I could point it out was a big thing was that second or third episode where they tell the love story of the two guys.
Yeah.
Because they don't show any of that. The guy's actually supposed to survive. He doesn't die with his partner. He ends up meeting Ellie in the game and going with them and doing stuff with them and stuff. So that part that they changed, I can't say I didn't like that they changed it. Whatever. I didn't. The part I didn't like was that I didn't get to see Pedro Pascal and Ellie that episode. That whole episode was just a life story.
That's it.
That's the one.
It's
That's
just
the part
fucking-
I didn't like, which other people were like, "Yeah, I like the love story." All right,
I didn't like that
kudos.
shit.
It was world building in
Yeah.
the big scheme of things because
Yeah.
we already saw the inklings of the code back and forth and all that.
Yeah.
So like, they put it there and then they served it to us for an episode.
Yeah, which I think it could have been a quarter or half of episode. Not,
Yes.
not a whole. episode.
Yes, 100%.
That's my thing. That was the only thing I did.
That was a waste of an episode. That was a waste of my 45
So,
minutes.
anyways, to move on and give you your babe, you should cover your ears.
She's not listening. Bro.
Anyways,
They're talking
so-
about something else.
in the whole premise of the Last of Us Part 2 is long after everything happened. Years. I think it's like 5 to 7 years or some shit like that after Part 1 ends, right? And the whole story is that basically someone comes back for revenge and kills Joel.
Okay.
And Ellie goes on a whole like
Dude,
revenge story.
I thought they gonna fucking kill Joel halfway through the season 1, man. Like that was just it's just
Yeah.
dragging it. You
No,
know
but-
Joel gonna die.
No, the sad part is that the way he dies in the game is like really gruesome and like sad. Like Ellie's there on the floor screaming and they're just beating. You watch Walking Dead?
Yeah,
You,
some of it.
you watched when Negan beats in
Yeah,
the,
yeah, I've seen
the
that.
Chino's face?
Yeah.
Just like that. Bam, bam, with a fucking a golf club.
Hmm.
And it's sad. It's the sad part of the... I just watched the walkthrough of the game. That's like the sad part of the game. It's a bunch
Yeah,
of
no,
reactions
I
and stuff
knew
to that
Joel
part.
gonna die. Like I was expecting Joel to die. I was expecting Joel to die in number 5 when he gets fucking stabbed.
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna be it.
Emily says, no, he didn't die. He didn't die. And I looked at her and I was like...
Yeah, I don't know, man, but like, I mean, without Joel though, like, cause you need somebody like that as
No,
well.
but
Like,
this is
you
the
need
thing.
somebody like that that's fucking hates life.
Listen.
You know what I mean?
Listen. Ellie becomes him.
Okay, that's good.
Ellie just becomes him, and we see that. We see that in the last couple of episodes when she fucking stabs that dude like a million times. When
Yeah.
she's holding off people with guns, like we see that in her. And then think about it: when the next season comes out, they already said that they're not going to use her as an actor because she's got to be so much older that the girl isn't plausible for the role. That's what they're trying to say.
Yep.
So it's so much further ahead, and like you play like Last of Us Part 2, the whole game is basically played as Ellie.
Yeah, see, like
Fucking
Joel
shit up.
doesn't really.
And you play a lot of Ellie in Last of Us Part 1. Fucking shit up.
Joel doesn't really like killing people. I don't think he likes killing people, but he also doesn't freak out when he has to kill someone. He just fucking does it. He doesn't like it, but he's like, well, this needs to be done. Pop, pop, pop.
But
or
get
like
ready.
stab.
Ellie showed the same exact feature as exactly what you're saying when she shot the dude in the back. Remember when the dude is second episode, right? When they get attacked and the dude is on top of Joel about to get him, and she comes out of the little hole in the wall and shoots him in the back. She has almost no reaction to Joel. Like she could any little girl like what we're thinking, right, is gonna cry when he comes to her and asks her is she okay. You're gonna start crying and freaking out. Oh, I just shot her. She has zero reaction. She like I remember.
Yeah, but she freaks out when he's stabbing that dude. That was like pure survival for her.
Well,
Where
because the dude just tried to rape her.
Yeah, but Joel in that case would have fucking like he'd have just killed him and
Listen,
just walked away.
she freaked
not
out.
Screaming.
She's trying to rape her. But what, like for example, I watch after the shows, they do like explanations, like the director and
Yeah.
the stuff. They start talking, and he talks about it. He goes, "This is our example of showing how much they're alike," because she had almost no reaction to shooting this dude. They purposely did that.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know. Well, that's good. If she becomes like Joel, that's good. Because we need somebody that's like fucking, like just this old
In
man that's
part
just.
2 in the game, she's got like tattoos and shit. She's fucking sick. She's also homosexual. She's lesbian. She has I don't know if it's a wife, but she has a partner.
Yeah.
In the Last of Us Part 2 and stuff, and like that's part of it and stuff.
Bro,
and
the world
saving
is
her.
coming to the fucking end.
Fuck who you want to fuck.
I guess. Don't you want to have babies and reprocreate?
Yeah, but mammals throughout all of history have homosexual relations, so
Yeah,
it's just natural.
I guess.
But not to make this whole podcast about Star Wars, since you didn't hear about the Mando movie, did you hear about the other twos that they announced?
So I've heard of the movie that's gonna be starring. Well, not starring, but it's gonna involve Rey 15 years after Rise of Skywalker. I've heard about that. They can do a movie about that.
They're going they're continuing, and then they're going all the way back to the Old Republic.
Oh
Well,
shit!
guess what?
Really?
I'm not watching that one.
Really? No, that's gonna be interesting.
Well, I mean,
Because-
Jay, if you like lightsabers and big lightsaber battles, that's where you want to go, because that's when like the Jedi Order and the Sith were like warring
big
at
war,
all
yeah.
the times, because Lord Plagueis hasn't introduced the rule of two, which is where Sith Lord and can only have Master, and they killed Plagueis and Palpatine killed every other Sith to be the only rulers, but This is long before that. And it's
What's the
just
guy's
nothing
name?
but lightsabers, Wookiees with lightsabers, like
Oh, okay, cool. That's
yeah.
different. Then.
Wookiees with
Yeah, bro.
lightsabers. Nah, man.
What's the guy the name?
Are they gonna
with
talk
the
about-
purple saber? Darth what? With the cool fucking mask? Oh fuck, what's his name?
But they're not gonna talk about Luke Skywalker, his father, or
Nah.
anyone
No,
like that.
it's
this
not
is
gonna have
way
anything to
before
do with that.
Perfect. I can watch that one. I'm okay with that.
I think
It's gonna be
we
like
can all say
old
we're sick
Jedi
of-
Order.
Like all
We're-
standalone. It's
we're-
gonna be like a standalone.
Yes.
Technically.
Just set-
They're gonna build. It's gonna build from the beginning. They want to go from Old Republic to like
Well,
basically
my question
build
is-
into the first.
will we see Mandalorians? Because they're around in that time.
If we see the Mando Jedi War, that would be amazing, in my opinion.
That would
But
be
Acolytes
insane.
is gonna bring in a lot of Jedi that we've spread across the galaxy and gonna start learning
But see,
about.
the thing is for me, like, like, okay, they done fucked up every single Jedi. They done fucked up every single Sith out there. Like, they have to rebuild this. Like, why don't they just fucking continue with
Darth
rebuilding?
Revan. That's what I was talking about. This guy, he's like a main character in the that part where he's talking about Old Republic. Sorry, I couldn't think of it. He carries two sabers. One of them is purple, fire.
Yeah, but see, that's
Badass
what I'm
dude.
saying. Like, why don't they just build the fucking future back again with, like, new Jedis and things like that? Like, because pretty much everyone is destroyed except for Luke Skywalker, the young girl, and that's it, really. Like, there's no one else.
One of the things that Disney likes to leave out of Star Wars lore is the mass genocide of children with midi-chlorians. So that there can't be a rebuilding of a Jedi Order.
So they
I want
can
to
be,
see Star Killer.
can or cannot.
They can't because they don't because midi-chlorians are what they use to say,
Your
the
force
cells you
sensitive.
have to be able to use the force in your body.
Your
But
midichlorian
in-
count, or whatever they call it. Right?
But in the real story, they pretty much destroy everyone with the count.
Yeah, Palpatine went on a massive genocide of children. Just like if you're force sensitive, or were showing force, you got murdered. That's one thing that you learn through the Rebels series too, because it goes into it is more children oriented, but it does still have dark shit. These children having to deal with hiding their force sensitivity because basically Empire equates to Nazis,
Yeah. But so right now, like if you go all the way to the last movie, the one that's like the most basically through the story, right? Like the last one in the story. Who do we have left?
So from start to beginning.
No, like the very last one within a sequel, like the very last story that we have. Which one is that?
Rey would be the last Jedi.
Rey is the last Jedi,
Yes.
and
But-
there's no one else besides her.
So Jedi is now changing because when Yoda burned the books in that tree,
was so
that
cool. I thought
that
was
was
funny.
right. Jedi was a
like, fuck
mindset,
that old
right?
shit.
It's just a
listen
teaching.
to
It's
that bullshit.
basically a religion. So now Jedi is going to be whatever race starts finding these force-sensitive children that survived,
That's why
and then training them.
That's why I like Mandalorians so much more than Jedi, because they're both in a sense religion, right? You want to put them like that, right? But Jedi is focused on zero emotion, right? Channeling out all emotion, making sure that decisions are made on straight up logic, and blocking out all emotion. The Mandalorians are completely the opposite. Their thing is strength in numbers, trust our family, this is the way, right? Their thing is built with community in a sense, versus Jedi is not individualism, but they block all that out of love and reprocreation. They don't they just find other Jedi kids and bring them out.
So
as being a
Jedis
Jedi, you're
are
not supposed to have a wife. All these things.
So Mandalorians are like the FBI and Jedis are like the CIA. Because they're send one at a time to fuck some shit up, come back, you know what I mean? No, they're more surgical, where Mandalorians are more Hoorah!
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah, like the speech the guy gave, right? Like, why would we go risk all of our lives, da da da, for this shit? Well, we would because we're Mandalorians.
But I don't know, man. That girl is gonna train all the children. I've lost faith in Jedi.
No, I agree. I'm not too excited about the future of Star Wars, and that's why they've held off so far of giving us a movie because they knew that they fucked up.
Why did they make a girl? Why did they make that girl? Like that girl's character, like the whole character that she presents is terrible. At least give her a better character.
Disney, I couldn't
There's
tell
not
you.
a good answer for that, man.
That's what I'm
Right.
trying to say. You know, like they're changing the narrative and the story of what you would expect to have, and they're giving you some fucking lackluster, watered down 2% milk,
What
and they're
they
telling
sh-
you it's whole milk.
What they should have done is stayed canon. That could
I agree.
They could have
I
provided
agree.
such a better story by staying canon. Staying canon, which what I mean is by staying canon to the
The story.
yeah, like the original
The
books
comic
and
books,
stuff,
yeah.
right? Would mean Luke has kids, right? Leia had kids with Han Solo, just like they did, but they had more than one kid. It was 2 or
Right.
3, I think, actually. It's so much better story.
Perfect.
Also, you can if you stay canon, you can start including characters like Starkiller, because from what I know, Starkiller isn't canon at all with Disney,
No.
so they can't even use him. Well, they probably will try, but
Yeah, but
They're
see,
not supposed
that
to.
makes sense. Luke has kids. The other one has kids. Now these kids have like the transfer down, you know, like the fucking transfer down of the what are these little jujus that they have inside? them?
midichlorian.
Yeah, midichlorians. Like you have
The
a story.
juju.
Like you have a time. Like you have a story. Like this
I don't
is
know
a
why they did that.
paternal maternal story that's coming. They pulled this girl out of fucking nowhere. Like she was born. I don't know where the fuck she was born to.
They-
Who she was born to.
This is what Disney did. Oh, we can stick with a story that is doing great, and we can make it better, or we can appeal to the masses.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were like, "Oh, so Star Wars fans like Millennium Falcon? Check. You know, they like the chess. Check. They were like,
We have
let's
to have a
just
Wookiee."
jerk off the fans as much as we can until they come so hard that they don't realize we gave them zero plot."
Yeah. No, that's what they did. I liked Wookiee. Wookiee was amazing. Where the fuck is he? Dead?
The way you
he's
said
still
that
there,
sounds
but
so
He's
funny.
on his own shit.
The way you said that sounds so funny. I like Wookie. Wookie like me.
You know what I mean? Wookiee was cool with his little fucking ghost-like screaming and shit.
I heard they're gonna do something with Jar Jar Binks.
They're gonna bring him back to be
So
useless.
there was a big April Fool's joke going
Oh.
around about Darth Jar Jar coming.
Yeah.
Jar Jar
But-
Binks.
So you remember Jar Jar Bink?
They throw those,
Misa
Yeah,
Misa wants
yeah,
yeah.
they throw those clear balls to everyone, and then just shit blows up.
he
by
can
it.
jump like 30 feet in the
Yeah.
air.
Yeah, but the actor that played Jar Jar was in
Man,
an episode of Mando and the
So,
flashback for Grogu.
You remember
So
the flashback where that Jedi is the one that saves Grogu and gets him out of Order 66 and stuff, where he was training. That Jedi is that actor is the same actor who played Jar Jar Binks.
So you know what was a good movie, and they stopped making it was with what's his name? The guy that was in the Pirates of Caribbean.
Johnny Depp
No,
and Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom, and he was like Virginia. You know when he like transfers to Mars or some shit like that.
No idea.
He goes
Lost
to Mars, and then they call him Virginia because like these green people that like, and he
No
can
idea.
jump really high on Mars because the gravitational force.
John Carter.
Carter,
That's
one.
that's not with Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, no, that's the
No, Orlando. You're right. It's not with Orlando Bloom. It's with another actor. You're right.
yeah
that one was
that
a
movie actually kind of ruined that dude's career for a little bit.
Yeah, because that movie didn't do too great.
I don't know why. It's a great movie. There's a bunch of fucking fighting.
The plot wasn't there.
It
story
was it wasn't media heavy, you know. It was a sci-fi book that was kind of even niche in the community, so
Yeah.
I could see why it failed, but I thought it was a good movie.
Or we need more movies like the fucking like Lord of the Ring, but specifically with a dwarf and an elf. I like that.
So
'Cause
did
those,
you watch the series on Amazon?
I don't know.
The Lord of the Rings. I forget what they called it.
Oh, with a bunch of dwarfs
They're dwarves, elves. It's basically, I
when
mean,
they're
it's,
going with the
I know you
after
don't
that
like
dragon
things
and
in the
stuff like.
past, but it's before the rings were made. It's like the telling of the story of how the rings became to power.
Yeah, when they went after like they had to go to the dragon's lair to get whatever the fucking jewels and shit. Is that what?
No, those are the Hobbit movies. There's
Yeah.
a series on Amazon
Oh, I didn't know that.
for the Lord of the
What's the
Rings.
name? Do you know what's the name of that? It's
Sure,
on
if you look
Prime.
up Lord of the Rings on Amazon, it'll come up.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me see.
Oh man.
Since,
Lord.
you know, Amazon has everything on there for Lord of the Rings. Fuck.
So they have the Lord of the Rings, and there's the
Rings
Return
of Power. That's
Rings
what
of
it's
Power.
called.
Rings of Power. Why does that sound familiar? Rings of Power. Okay, no, I don't think I've watched that.
So it's before like Sauron and all that
Yeah.
take over. It's the building of Middle Earth and like how all that destruction happened, but also like it's two stories going on at the same time while the elves and the dwarves are working together to build the Rings of Power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that might be something I'd watch for sure. Might be good.
A lot of people who are like big Tolkien nerds didn't like it because it doesn't stick with the lore, but I thought it was a good show.
Okay.
If you like Lord of the Rings, it's good.
Okay. Okay.
Quick thank you to everybody who came out to watch tonight. Damaris, Arthur, Alex, Rodolfo, Gregorio, my mother, Felix,
Eddie,
Ozzy. Thank you
Ozzy.
guys for coming out to watch tonight. Thank you, thank you. Just wanted to give a quick
Yeah,
shout
and
out to all the people who
hit the
support
like
us.
button, guys, if you haven't done that yet. And I know there's one ninja watcher for sure. There's one ninja watcher. I know that for a fact. Let me just check here. We got 9 watching, but we only have 7 likes.
So-
Guys, come on. Give us-
You said this Mandalorian movie is going to be coming out. Is it supposed to be after the next season or before the next season?
We don't have any time slots. You know, May the 4th is coming up, so Disney's starting to release to the public a little more of what's coming on Star Wars. But when the day comes of May the 4th, we'll learn a lot more.
So is May the 4th? Are you gonna? Are they gonna put something out, or is just more of?
Yeah, because it's Star Wars Day.
Star Wars Day has a presentation set up to show what's coming from
so
Disney.
it's just gonna be more of a like a PR type of deal.
Yeah, oh yeah, big, yeah.
But it's not gonna be like they're gonna release something. It's just gonna be a PR thing.
Now we don't know, but if they release anything, it's probably just gonna be like a short or something on Disney Plus. It's not gonna be anything big.
What is this? Star Wars Wrath of the Mandalorian movie.
What? Is that new? You sure you're not
No.
looking at April's Fool or some shit like that?
Supposedly came out in 2008.
So I want to know this thing, guys. 420 is coming up in 7 days. Any big plans
No.
for all of you that celebrate 420?
Just another day.
Indeed.
It's also on a Thursday, so if anyone's celebrating, they can celebrate on the pod too, right?
I mean, you got a point there. I give you that. Oh, by the way, that pod is gonna be. I'm gonna be probably on Discord or logging in through Skype for that one because I'll be in California,
Right. So what days are you in California for?
18th through 24th.
Oh, today when we're done and we finish stuff, setting stuff up, I'm gonna show you how to
Yeah, that's fine.
all the stuff.
Yeah.
And so we can. I talked with Alex already, so we can do Saturday.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So 18th is a Tuesday.
Mickey, you gonna join us? We're gonna do an online GhettoRig pod Saturday.
We'll see.
18th is a Tuesday. We can either you can come over here and set everything up, or you can do it like virtual.
Yeah,
Those
well
two
that
times.
day we'll probably just do it virtual because
Yeah, 18th
I
and
was gonna sit on
20th.
the couch by myself now.
Yeah, 18th and the 20th. I think we can do virtual, all of us. You know what I mean? We'll still come out.
You'll be there that whole week.
Yes, I'm there a whole week. Yeah, and I'm coming back on the 24th. So I'm actually coming back on a Monday, I think, which I think it's a Monday. I think it's a Monday. 24th
So what
is a Monday,
happened
so I'll be here
with
on the
before we
24th.
close out the pod? I know we're getting past the 2 hour mark. Real quick, what happened with Bud Light? Why the fuck is everybody
All right,
boycotting Bud
so
Light?
with Bud Light, what happened? Bud Light, just like Hershey. So Hershey's was pretty much Hershey's was going down, right? Like the company's not doing too well. So they brought a trans woman as the spokesman person for Hershey's for Mother. I think it was for Women's Day, right? And then the Bud Light's executive, like, oh, they're having a good because so Hershey's company is going down, and my understanding is Bud Light is not doing that hot either. So the new Hershey's executive decided this could be a good idea, and they brought what's Mulvaney, and she is also a trans woman. So after they did that, it pretty much went like berserk, right? Like, cause that's cool. Like you're trying to appeal to the younger woke culture, but the younger woke culture doesn't necessarily drink beer like that, in my opinion. And if they do drink beer, it's more like IPAs and different kind of beers rather than Bud Light. The
Oh,
like
Bud
the
Light's a big like college beer. So
it is,
like
it is.
they gave Dylan
Dylan
her
Mulvaney.
special
There you go.
can
Yes.
for her 365 days of being a woman after she got her transition.
That.
And a lot of people got pissed about this, even though it wasn't a mass-produced can. It was a company appealing to someone who has a giant fan base so that they can sell more beer. But people are starting to put their like Pride Day cans and stuff like that all over the internet, and Kid Rock missed a bunch of cans of beer because he shot a machine gun at him. Like, it's a whole lot of controversy for very little reason. Because the whole what is it? Something in botch. The company that owns Bud Light, like, does
Anheuser-Busch.
Budweiser, 7 billion other bills. Yeah, so they do a bunch of other beers that, like, even some of the politicians that are doing their filmings to be like, I'm against this, like, will show their fridge full of beers just from the same company, just
Yeah.
not Bud Light.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But now there's a bunch of videos and people caught on to it because it's not just Bud Light. So like you'll see the fridges in stores, the area which is not Bud Light is empty. So everything that belongs to Bud Light is still full. So they're like,
Sounds like these people are like, I hate Apple wearing Beats headphones. Like,
well, no, it was more like the rednecks and whatnot came out and they're like, well, we're not gonna drink Bud Light anymore.
Right. It's activism for, I don't know.
Like they're against it. They're
Yeah,
against it, and they're
and
just
they
saying I'm
have that
against it.
right to be against it. But, like, you're actively trying to protest someone just trying to live their life. And, like,
Well, no, I don't think they're protesting living their life. I think they're just protesting putting them
Pushing it
as
on
the
them.
spokesperson for Bud Light.
I mean, how is that pushing anything? Like, the only people that are going to pay attention are to the millions of followers that she has. And then everyone else is just going to drink Bud Light in a beer pong game or on a fucking near a pool or, like, on a boat, because, like, it's the piss water beer. Like, you don't drink it because you want to. You drink it because it's cheap.
No, I get it. But this would be interesting to see if this is gonna play out well for Bud Light or if they're gonna fucking just tank on revenue. You know what I mean? And that will show the numbers whether it worked out or it actually
No,
fired
it's gonna affect Bud Light. The only thing that's gonna affect is either sales are gonna go up or they're going to stay stagnant. Because all it is just a period piece. It's just something to rile up voters right now that, are anti-trans so that they can, start listening to those
But
avenues.
see, I don't think voters are anti-trans. I don't think those voters can give a shit about the trans. I think what they're anti is when you're shoving that someone down someone's throat.
But see, no, because it's the very small people, like the select people that are trying to scream louder than the majority. I do agree with you. A lot of the voters do not give a shit
They don't.
what you want to be.
Yes.
But there's that really loud, anti-trans movement that will be, filming the things of shooting cans, saying that they're gonna throw away whole fucking suitcases of goddamn beer that they already bought, so the company wins. Like, all it is a PR stunt. Like, this is just how they sell beer these days. They're
No.
not shoving it down your throat just because they put a rainbow on a can. Like, no one gives a fuck about that.
No, well, they kind of are though,
I
because
don't agree.
they're pushing the 5% of the population.
I don't agree though, because they're not necessarily still pushing it down your throat, trying to force you to learn and agree with these things. No, they're just putting a rainbow on a can, like you said.
No, I get
Right.
that. I get that. I get that. But like nobody's saying that this doesn't exist or shouldn't exist or you shouldn't live your life the way you do.
Do whatever the fuck
Do
you
that.
want. Yeah.
Do whatever the fuck you want. But as far as the majority goes, this has nothing to do with the majority. And majority is the one that drinks the beer. So why would you give people not what they want? Because your majority drinks this beer. So why would
But you already said the majority doesn't give a fuck about what people do.
Yeah, so
so
what- they could care less.
already don't give a fuck. So it's that minority that they don't care gets mad because, once again, all this is PR for them.
But I
Good
get
or
what you're saying.
bad.
Why are they trying to push the minority? I get it.
No, well, this is the only way I can explain it. Is like, when you get that knock on your door and there's evangelists trying to convert you or have you go to your church. Listen, I love that this is what you're doing. I get it. This is your thing. You go ahead and continue to do that. But don't sit here and try to convince me to go to your church.
Yeah, but
I have
they-
nothing against
Bud
your
Light
church.
isn't knocking
I
on your
don't
front
think
door.
that
They just
correlates. Yeah.
they're not knocking on your front door trying to talk to you. They just put a tag on a beer.
Well, no, because they are.
It's
'cause
a
this is the
it's
cool
a
thing to do
purchase
now.
that you have to willingly do, right? Like, no one's forcing you to buy a beer, but also, like, when they knock on the door, they're not forcing you to hear that. But if they held the door open, kept trying to come in, and don't get me wrong, I've met into some of those religious groups that try to literally come in uninvited, and, like, I don't enjoy that. I understand, but it's a very select few, right?
Well,
So how
that's
are
what
they
I'm saying.
pushing something by just being like, yeah, we put our PR team out and they said, this person has a bunch of followers, so we're gonna give them a special beer can.
So
and
go ahead. Go ahead.
and then, like, they're still having their Bud Light Super Bowl commercials, right? They're still having, like, but each and every other beer company on Pride Month has a Pride beer, and no one else gives a fuck about that.
No. I get that. But what I'm trying to say, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, you have a stick. On one end, you have these people that are like all very loud about the trans issues. And then on the other side of the stick, you have the fucking other people that are like, well, we're against trans completely. But most of us are right in the middle of the fucking stick, right? We're all the same part of the stick. So these scream really loud on this side and these scream really loud on this side. So they're the exact same people, just they have the opposing views. But their characters are exactly the same. Majority of people are in the middle. We could give a shit about what you do or what you do, what you want, what you want.
How you feel.
Don't shove it down my throat and don't try to push this. In my opinion, it's like an agenda to push this, where to me, in the whole scheme of things, it's statistically insignificant. That part of the population and that part, and both sides of the population are statistically insignificant, whether they're pro or against.
But
In
there's
reality
still
of things, they're
there's
statistically
I mean,
insignificant.
yeah, I guess if you want to break people down to numbers, then
Yes,
yeah, sure.
obviously.
But we're not numbers. We're billions of clumps of cells that actively work to create energy all day. So, like, you can't just put a number on people. That's what, that dehumanizes.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Like, my whole thing is like, just like in that like we're talking about The Last of Us, right? Where he saves the girl at the end, right? you're like, well, that's dumb. He should never saved her, right? Because for humanity, it would be better. I agree with that. But then I also came up with it's like, well, if it's a family member of mine, like, fuck everybody else. Like, I get that. I get that. But, like, on whole scheme of things, the girl should never have survived because people would have survived. You know what I mean? Like, if you take it from that point of view, then
It's hard.
Like,
I mean, that was a percentage game, right? Because Joel knew that there was a percentage that it might happen. That
Yes.
he caught on that even the doctor didn't know if this would actually going to do something, and they're just going to cut Ellie's brain open and kill her for basically nothing, in
Well,
his opinion.
yes, yes, that's what I'm trying to say, and this is where that whole thing comes in. Like, in general, like, I agree that we're humans, we're emotional, we have all this energy, but in a whole scheme of things, both sides are statistically insignificant. They're both gonna yell. They're always been yelling. At the end of the day, it just doesn't matter for like progression of humanity. I don't think they matter. What matters is people that are sitting in the middle of the stick, like that running the electrical grid on daily basis, that are having the families, that are having the children. That's what's gonna continue the society, not these two. You know what I mean?
But
Not the
that's what
radicals.
continues our society. It's always been a back and forth, you know? It's always been opposing sides. And, you know, whichever one prevails is what creates, you know, our sociological laws, you know, the rules that we unconsciously sign to just to live in.
What happened there?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, all
Just
good.
to live together, you know?
No, no, I get that, but then there's also like statistics now coming out, like throughout the years they've done the polls and whatever. Now they're reporting that more younger generation more is saying that they're like not of like they're very gender fluid, right? Like that's the best way I can put it, which to me makes no sense. Like you can't like it's probably not possible.
Okay,
that
then
way.
allow me to put it this way.
Uh huh.
So you think of humans as sex organs, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yes, it's
there's
organisms, just like a
yeah,
virus.
okay. But if we break it down genetically, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're actually just X and Y chromosomes,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you associate X and Y as male,
Correct.
and you associate XX as female.
Yes.
But through science, we've learned that it's actually more XXY, XXX, XYX. Even men throughout their lives can lose their Y chromosomes and their X will become more dominant. So
That's
you're trying to
true.
put
That's
such
true.
a broad spectrum into two binary things.
Yeah, but the XXX or XXY or XYY, those are genetic anomalies. See what I'm saying?
Okay. So
Those are
there was a
genetic anomalies.
man
That's
there was a man
mistake in the
that
genetic
literally
code.
had a grown uterus, like a full-grown uterus,
Yes.
but he had all sex organs of a man, had a full functioning, you know,
Yes.
but
Cock.
he only found out later in life
Yes.
because of pancreas issues that this happened. So, you know, we look more at genetics to see that humanity is a spectrum.
Well, no. Well, what I'm trying to say, like those things do happen, but they are the genetic anomalies from the actual majority. It's a very small percentage, thus statistically insignificant.
Well,
Small
yeah,
percentage.
that's a very small percentage that actually grow, you know, both. But we do still see that these are just clips and bits of our X and Y chromosomes that are active.
That's true.
It's not just we can't be binary about such a broad science, you know?
But again, even if those malfunctions are happening within X or Y, that's still a very small proportion of the population. Majority, they have their X and Y in let's say the one pi removed, the 70% have it X
But once
Y
again,
or
you're
XX.
focusing on one set of 20 something that activate differently and activate in sections. So
Yes.
like yes, maybe you didn't grow the right hormones to make your uterus fall out in the testes, you know,
Yes.
but you might have a lot of dominant features in your genetics that are from Y chromosomes.
Well, that's obvious. You know, and then again, you got the X and then you got the Y, right? Like it depends which side of the X you're getting, which side of the Y you're getting. Are you getting your grandfather's X? Are you getting your grandmother's X? Are you getting your, grandfather's Y? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like all that matters, right?
But do you see what I'm saying, right?
Yes. No, I
You're
get that.
trying to bracket such a broad thing into two binary things. And I don't think you can understand the broadness because you are limiting yourself by binary.
So broadness. When I say broadness, okay, well, you have traditional, not traditional, but like uh, attributes that go along with XY versus XX, right? Like if you are double X, you're most likely better with languages. You're most likely better at doing math problems. But then if you have an XY, you're most likely at solving math problems, right? Like if you have an XX, you're most likely to be more emotional versus when you have XY, right? So there are traits that associate with those genes, right? It's not just a simple XY, and then there's a binary this, binary that. Like there's also the testosterone production, right? Like and then testosterone versus estrogen production, right? Like are there any that produce less testosterone, more estrogen, or less estrogen, more testosterone? Yes. I'm not saying they don't exist, but they're a very small percentage of overall.
Okay, but we also have spent centuries of killing anything that's not the norm, correct?
Centuries of killing, yes, but there are also centuries of extinction as well, yes, because
I
the
mean,
reproduction, because right now, if you take,
humanity hasn't faced a mass extinction. We've faced localized extinctions, yes,
yes,
but we haven't hit a mass extinction yet.
yes, but if you take two XXs, they would never be able to create a fetus. They wouldn't. You need a Y to create a fetus. Like you can't, like you need a delivery method, and delivery method happens with XY.
Okay, but so now we're talking about two different things, right? Now we're talking about sex versus gender. Because gender is a fluid thing that we make up through our X and Y's and what's activated,
I don't,
right?
I
Because
don't think
that's
it's
our mental pathways.
I don't think it's that easy because as of today, right now, there's no scientific article out there that says that this is just, as a matter of fact, people out there have said we will finance this for you to figure out how this works, and they
I'm
cannot
going to stop
point
you
it.
right there because I know of many that come from actual doctors that set rules and stuff for cancer that are also setting rules for gender affirming care. And all they say for the number one first step is just acknowledge your child. If they're saying, I feel like a woman, and you don't think that, just let them be a child.
And I'm
And,
not talking about
they
that.
might grow that.
I'm not talking
Yeah.
about that. I'm not talking about that. That's I agree with that. Like this is how you feel. That's
Gotta
fine.
wrap
We're
it
gonna
up
love
soon,
you.
boys.
We love you. Let's continue with that. You know what I mean? This is how you feel. I love you, and let's continue with that. That's fine. Although I'm going to understand that this child is a very minority of the total population. Thus, this child, unfortunately, it's very unemotional things to say, but it's not statistically significant, right? In whole of scheme of things. Yes, they're a child. Yes, they're a soul. Yes, they're a living being, and they deserve to live their life the way they want to live. I'm not against it. Do that. However, in the total progression of things, they're just statistically insignificant.
You're just situational about it. I understand because you only feel emotions for what's affecting you. So if
Well,
your child
obviously,
came up to you and was
obviously,
like, "This is how I'm feeling," I bet you would go through even with like ADHD, right?
yeah,
Like I know children that were abused by their parents, given, medicine they shouldn't have just to dampen them so that they don't
yes,
have to deal with them.
yes.
But I also know parents that have gone through the process, made sure they find the right doses and everything, and they said that their child excels now. I bet you would do that because it's personally affecting you. Like it's easy to
That's
see
true.
people as numbers because it's not personally affecting you.
And I understand that. I understand that, but I also understand the flip side as well. That yes, I would go through all these things, but I'm not gonna sit there and scream at the top of my lungs because I'm going to understand that this is statistically insignificant. I'm going to do everything in my power to help this child to be the child that they want to be.
I understand
They
what you're
have to
saying.
do that.
You're basically saying I understand the problem is there, and we need to deal with the problem when it announces itself. But let's stop screaming bloody Mary about the problem that isn't a problem to the majority.
Correct.
But we have to scream because the other side is screaming so hard. Because the other side is literally actively making legislation against this. That's why you feel like it's so in your face, because they have to be, because they have to get people to understand that they're just people.
I get that.
I get all of that. I do get all of that.
Let's wrap
That's
it up.
all fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, as I said, I mean, like, you know, there's a way of progression of humanity, and that's with XX and XY. There's no other way to go about this. Like, that's the bare bottom basic line. Like, yeah, with the scientific progression, you know, with the artificial insemination and things like that, you can continue to have an XX and an XX, and they both can have a baby now. But you still need that Y to donate to have it.
I understand. You're very big into humans' only biological function is to breed.
Well, no.
Which I understand.
Oh, no.
But
not only that. All I'm saying is that it's not just straight genetic. All I'm saying, there's more to it that we don't know about. Now, I'm not negating this by just simply saying, well, because this activates, this doesn't activate. I think there's a lot more to it than just... I think there's other correlations. Maybe it's not the XY chromosome, not the 24th chromosome, but the 21st, 22nd, or first chromosome that activates something that we have no idea about. Like, I think there's more to it.
There's already that science out there. What I'm saying is, I think I've read more on the subject than you.
No,
I understand. I feel like you try to broaden and strengthen your horizons on such a giant issue, or not issue, but, you know, such a giant science that, yes, still has avenues that we don't know yet, because you know, microbiology is like infancy.
Exactly. And my point is, since we don't know, we cannot scream that this is what it is. All I'm saying is, we don't know, let's figure it out.
But we're
Alex,
not
just say yes.
We're
just
not
say
screaming
yes.
what we don't know is what I'm saying. We're screaming what science has proven so far. And that's what we do no matter what.
But for each one of those articles, there's an article saying that this article is incorrect.
And guess what? There's such things called pseudoscience for a reason.
Well, and that's the point. If it's a pseudoscience, let's not talk about it.
But you're talking about the pseudoscience is what I'm saying. I'm saying there's literal articles from doctors that are setting these into practice law, that are literally saying these are the steps for gender affirming care, right? But the people that are fighting this are the ones that are the pseudosciences saying that. And those are getting the clout because those are being shouted by the other side that's not throwing it in your face, but they're throwing it in the face of the people who just want to be people.
No, well, I don't think they're getting clout. I think at 13 years old, administering, chemical castration medicine is pretty
once again
clout.
Another propaganda thing right there. It's not chemical castration. Anything that's being given to a child that is going through that is totally reversible, except for surgeries, and surgeries cannot be given until after 18, so they're not doing that.
But they're still given medicine, which is stopping the actual.
And you give medicine to your children all the time. If your child says, I want to be this way, guess what? They can experiment, and that's fine. And then if they don't want it later in life, guess what? It can just go away, because just like medicine, it comes out of your system.
Well, I don't know if that's the thing, though. Does it go away, though?
Yes,
so.
We have medically documented cases of how this shit works. But this is why we can prescribe it. It has gone through the test.
But you
cannot, it's FDA approved.
Well, how are you going to restart puberty? You can't restart puberty.
How do women restart puberty after years of being on the pill?
I was about to say we had this conversation the other day. They do. It just happens later. Their body's
Yeah.
not necessarily supposed to be happening at that time, but it happens.
But is that puberty though they're restarting?
yes.
Yes,
Yes.
they get all the same symptoms, all the
All-
same
all we have to
hormones,
say-
all the same acne.
All I have to say, we're just gonna have to wait and see what's gonna happen out of it. We won't know for another 20, 30 years, maybe 40, but we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen. That's really the bottom line.
All right, guys. Appreciate you guys coming. This is episode 32 of Ghetto Rig. Thank you again for Alex coming. This is literally the same thing that happened on Tuesday, where it's like we don't have enough time.
Just a bit
So-
worse.
Hey, you guys can
It's a
tell me to
bit
quit
worse.
coming back if we keep going over. I understand.
What'd you say, Miggy?
Just a bit worse.
Oh my God! Shut up, bro. Just because we're not talking about Bad Bunny doesn't mean it wasn't interesting. This guy.
Well, we already have scheduled for Saturday to do
Yeah.
from home thing. Hopefully that goes through, and we'll have Alex again. We can continue, maybe not necessarily continue this conversation,
We'll
but
talk
have other
about
ones.
something else.
Well, yeah, let's talk about something else.
Yeah. All right, peace, guy. Hit that, guys.
Have a
hit
good
that
night,
like
guys.
button on the way out, though.
Love all of you. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you,
Peace out,
Alex, for
guys.
coming.